But my life is good. Really good. I get to wake up every morning at 5 a.m. and make some soup. It's the best. I love it. I get to lay in a bed by myself all of my life. It's fantastic.
You're playing music too loud, right to jail, right away. You're driving too fast, jail. Slow, jail. You're charging too high prices for sweaters, glasses. You right to jail.
Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito? Where's my burrito?
Oh!
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
No, there is. We are going to do Sting, yeah.
Okay, but yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
Okay. Ready? Sure.
There's no words there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
Sting is going to do. It's a video. Sting video.
What is
for credits?
I don't know what that means. To play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it.
Okay. In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a. I can't do it.
Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live.
Right.
Fucking thing sucks.
In 5, 4, 3.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. I'm Bill O'Reilly. Thanks again for watching. We'll leave you with Sting and a cut off his new album. Take it away.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
We obviously didn't communicate clearly. We're here to discuss your surrender, not mine.
Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivada y tú aburres mi corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Tú eres tan romántico molestando con una vipa. Me preguntas si te quiero. Yo te digo que no estoy lista y no quiero comenzar. No hay nada que pensar. Yo te dejaré atrás. Mientras gano más y más. No estás en mi nivel y tú no eres obligación. No estás motivado. Corazón. Eres un idiota sin inteligencia y razón. Entonces déjame tranquila mientras escriba tu canción. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Estoy aquí a disfrutar. Estoy aquí pero quiero gozar. Si quieres a mí pero vamos a bailar. Cintura a cintura, papi, tra, tra, tra. Bailando, gozando y me gusta tomar. Pero no quiero pendejos que no quieren respetar. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más. Déjame pendejo, papi, ya no más.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy Luis Martinez, aka Big Chief Burrito, live with you on a Thursday. Back to our regular,
Is it a Tuesday?
regular day. Back to our regular days. Now we're back to Thursday. 7
Oh, it
p.m.
is Thursday. Oh, geez. Oh my gosh. We're back at it.
Times fly when you're in fun employment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I don't even know what day it is.
That's what happened. Mi Gente show live and direct from San Diego, California, the Burrito Lounge on National Burrito Day.
Is it really?
Yes.
Oh my God, have you eaten a burrito today?
I had one for breakfast.
Ooh,
Coincidentally,
you know
Not-
what? Oh my God,
not
I did
knowing-
too.
Not knowing that it was, but then I was at the gym afterwards, and I was like, "Oh, hey,
There
National
must be
Burrito
something
Day."
in the air because same. I had a burrito and I never
Although-
eat burritos.
9 times out of 10, I'll probably have a burrito for breakfast. So I mean,
Nice.
chances are I was going to smash it on National Burrito Day.
As you should. If that's your name, you have to live up to it.
I gotta live up to it. All right. Mi Gente show live and alive here on a Thursday. We are going to be live today, and then we're going to be doubling up the next 2 weeks, Tuesday and Thursday for the next 2 weeks at 7 p.m. So catch us live. We'll be getting ahead of ourselves before Sophia takes yet another vacation.
Yes.
Although
Unemployment. Come on.
Although she may be joining us live from someplace in Europe. We're not going to.
I'm going to try from Paris. Yeah.
We're
I'm gonna
not.
give
We're
it my
not.
best
Well,
shot.
I wasn't going to say where you were, so people wouldn't be like IRL stream sniping you. But but either way, yeah, she'll be in Paris. She'll be in Europe. So hopefully she'll be able to join us. But if not, I will find a way to move on. All right. So tonight we're going to be covering a bunch of topics. We're going to be talking about later on. We're going to be doing an entertainment segment with our new entertainment reporter. We're going to be making an announcement about that. We're going to be talking Hellscape Watch, all the shit that's happening here stateside. That's it's kind of our This Is Fine moment. We'll be doing all that stuff. And then we'll also be doing No Names way later. And so it's going to be a jam-packed show. But first, our Latinx Latino spotlight this week, excuse me, is going to be with the team of people that I was able to meet finally in person. I had met our guest, Rodrigo, while the San Diego Latino Film Festival was virtual only. And he had a film called Las Sanadoras, I believe, that was a documentary, really cool doc. It's out there in the webverse. Go watch it. And we were able to talk shortly. We were able to talk about the film virtually during some of the Q&As that I did. And then we're at the we ran into them at this year's festival because they had a film this year. So it's gonna be a thin line to navigate for me, because I always like to add the jokes because it is about a serious topic. And
we're gonna put our serious caps on. Yes.
Our serious caps on. But I do remember when we did speak about Las Sanadoras, I asked him a little bit. We talked a little bit about process and asked him how he found his next subject. And he was like, yeah, I'm starting to do the research and we're going to start putting the team together, blah, blah, for this film about Feminicidio. And I was like, wow, okay, that's deep. And I was like, I'm going to be really interested to see how that, and then I completely forgot about it. And then when I saw him at the festival and we went to see it, my God, that movie, was rough, but it also was very powerful. And so we're very happy to bring the team from Veritas Films, Mr. Rodrigo Occelli.
Yeah.
Hi, how are you? Sophia, Luis.
Welcome,
Rodrigo.
How are you?
Alex Montes, thanks for coming on.
Welcome.
Alex, you're muted. And then a very uber talented DP who did the movie, Sandra da Silva.
Yeah. Female DPs. Welcome, Sandra.
No DPs. And she was criticizing my lighting in here earlier, so I'm okay.
You need a light, man. You need a ring light.
I need a ring
light.
Okay.
Mine is off as well.
That's right. Yeah. All right. So, Rodrigo, Alex, Sandra, thank you very much for being on the show. The movie is about a very important topic. It's obviously something that's super relevant, not only in Mexico, but in Central America, South America, all over the world. Feminicidio. I remember when we spoke, Rodrigo, while you were promoting Las Sanadoras, that you told me about that. And that was, I think, 3 years ago. Can you tell me how you put that team in place, and then how kind of, how much of a weight is on your shoulders when you're going to make a movie about such an important, such a deep topic?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having us. And well, since the last time we met, Luis, I started making the research about femicides in Mexico. And I was already in the research like 3 months already when I came across an Italian journalist that told us about a testimony of an orphan due to femicide, that her name was Isangi. And at that moment, it clicked me that it was incredible that I was making research about femicide and I wasn't aware about the orphans. So it was like a red flag for us. We were able to track Angie. We finally met her, and from that the research of the documentary changed completely, and we focused on the story of Angie and her two brothers, Beto and Rodrigo. And as we started making the research, we found that this is a huge, huge, huge problem. Currently in Mexico, we have it's a terrible reality. Every single day, 11 women are murdered by femicide in our country. And by 11 women that are murdered every day by femicide, more or less we have around 2 to 3 children of that are left in orphanhood. So we have around another 11 children every day left in orphanhood due to femicide in Mexico. So when you see the statistics, it's impossible to dimension the size of the problem. Mm-hmm. Here in Mexico, I think we have another big problem that we kind of normalize already violence and everything that goes around it. So, Mexicans in the street, they hear about, 11 women are victims of femicide every day. Oh, the orphans, oh, the narco, or that I think we don't sit down and realize how big this problem is. And the saddest part is that almost nobody's making anything to stop it. Mm-hmm. It was until recent years, and by recent years, we are talking 2 years, 1 year at the most, that the authorities in Mexico actually, they put the spotlight in the subject. But this is happening like so many years back. So it's like you saw at the end of the documentary, there's a small paragraph of information that nowadays the exact number, the official number of orphans due to femicide in Mexico is completely unknown. So imagine it's so big that not even the authorities know how many orphans are out there. They don't have track of anyone. They know that most of them they became they go to to the narcos. They became sicarios. They are in street situation. The life expectancy is very low. It's a big problem. So for us making a documentary about this, I think it was, I can speak for the team telling you this, it was a huge opportunity to show first the Mexican public, to tell you, hey, we cannot normalize this. This is not normal. This needs to stop. And then, of course, the documentaries and films in a wider way, you have the advantage that you can take these stories and take them to a global audience. So I think it's going to be, San Diego Latino Film Festival was our first stop in our festival circuit, but I think it's going to be really, really interesting to see how many audiences around the world react to this situation. And, we are just glad that we get to do the documentary, and we are so grateful to these 3 brave siblings, that they at the end decided to share their story, because it's a tough one, as you saw.
Yeah, absolutely. What a couple of follow-ups on that, because I'm Big Chief Burrito, but everybody, I'm Colombian, right? So I'm a Colombiano from Medellin, and I do find a lot of kinship with Mexicans from Tijuana and other parts, because of the fact that we have very similar experiences with narcotráfico and with violence and stuff like that. So I understand, the having to fight against the general public in these places that might be jaded to this violence, that might think, what's another dead person, what's another dead kid, and stuff like that. So I understand you fighting, you're sort of fighting like an uphill battle to sort of put this in front of people and say that you can't normalize it. Before you found the reporter and before you found the story specifically about this family, did you envision the film being much different? Was it going to be more of like an ABC documentary with facts? Because you also had, I think you had a brilliant blend of the stories, the imagery, the artistry of the imagery, the poetry, but also facts. And I think that's a very tough balance. Before you found the subject and that inspiration, was the film going to be more of a traditional documentary, or where was the film headed before that change?
Luis, you got the chance to see Las Senadoras. Las Senadoras, our last film was like ABC, like you say. So for this documentary, even when on early stages it was going to be about femicide, I already made the decision that I wanted to make. It was such a dark and tough subject, but I wanted to make a beautiful film, and I tried so hard to reach a balance, because I didn't want to address the subject in a bad manner, or I didn't want people crying in camera, or stuff like that some documentaries do. So since the beginning, I had a very clear picture that I wanted to make. Even though the subject was dark, like I told you, I wanted this to be a beautiful film. I wanted to be, beautiful in all the ways possible. You have the music, you have the photography, you have, these like fantasy narratives inside the documentary. So in early stages, I didn't have, like a clear image of all the elements. But since the beginning, I wanted to do something different, to make it feel more like a film, and so people have like a cinematic experience more than they will say like, I saw a documentary. I wanted people to really embrace the film and say like, wow, this was like a complete experience, like a film,
Yeah.
To take off the label of documentary.
Did you happen to see the $4.99 documentary, which is
yes.
which was yes, it sort of gave me a little
Rodrigo.
Yeah. It gave me a little bit of that, because it was the facts and the story with this fantasy, with this reality, with this thing. So go watch that one if you haven't seen that as well. The $4.99, another really good documentary.
It's in Amazon.
Yeah, that's an excellent one. So then you have your team here. Obviously, we're going to talk about the visuals, which were stunning, and there were some shots there that had me crying and wetting my pants. But then you have Alex here, your teammate producer. Here. When during the process of the film finding its legs, what is your role in supporting Rodrigo once this sort of story reveals itself? What is your role in that process? And did you at any point fight back from making it toe-centric to one family, or were you all on board with this path that the film takes?
Well, yeah. Again, I was muted, so thank you for having us again. And but yeah, Rodrigo and I are co-founders of Beta Films. We have been working together for 20 years, and we do inside the company so much together. And the idea inside is always like, also with the Senadoras and the projects, like we always have had our eye in the documentary as a way of us from our trench to be able to speak about the topics that we find relevant, that we are trying to raise awareness and to try to make our contribution to the different causes that we think that we can put something from our heart and from our work to be able to do something about it. And when we were, Rodrigo was telling me the story about the femicide, and we said that we need to do something around this topic. But yeah, we were oblivious about, as many people is, about the situation of the orphans and all the indirect victims around it. And so the moment when Rodrigo was telling me about this, we said, like, immediately we felt, that click, that tone that is like, yeah, it should be about them, absolutely. And it was from my side, the first thing is absolutely to support in any way that we can to put the vision with the team that we have also been gathering throughout the years. Because, for example, the music also has been done by Esperanza and Josefa de Velasco, that work also with us in Las Senadoras. And we were really clear that also we wanted to have a female DP, for example, that now Sandra will give her view on it. But we're really clear that we wanted as much women participating in the film, and also speaking with Rodrigo, that we believe that nowadays the genres are being kind of like diluting and mixing, and not necessarily we are stuck into the same thing as the Talking Head, as the A to C ABC documentary, and that for us also in Beta Films in the company, we can start to just go and do film, and this happens to be about real life, and it's in a documentary. But as Rodrigo said, the idea is that it feels like a full film that makes you feel, that makes you think, and also that you have an aesthetic experience. And the idea here is that to stretch the possibilities of what it was, just like the classic resources that people use, and try to stretch it a bit more. So from my side is that, and then also in my role also was, besides producing it, was editing the film. So we could have like a really close work on an input on how the message could be delivered in a very respectful, beautiful, but also like really powerful and emotional way. And for that also, Sandra was a key element for us to bring not just like the vision Rodrigo had, but also like these beautiful visuals that you can appreciate there.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm gonna let you, Sophia, have a couple of questions here in a second. But I wanted to just jump into the DP position here because you know, like I said, I was watching the movie, and you go in thinking, you know, this is this is the complete opposite of the type of movies I make. It's like, you know,
it really is.
You guys, and I always say, you know, we don't make important movies. We just make movies that can take your mind off the stuff that makes you laugh, makes you think, make you have a little fun. But I understand, and that's why I do the Hay que Reírse showcase, because I like that, because there's so many important movies about important topics, and I'm glad there's people like you and your team that are carrying the load and making these important movies, but also making them accessible. And then as somebody who loves documentaries, who, like, you know, I can watch, you know, Grizzly Man or The Act of Killing or The Look of Silence or anything by Oppenheimer or anything like that. And I absorb, you know, ever since the Basketball Diaries, I mean, not the Basketball Diaries, Hoop Dreams. You know, and I've always wanted to make a serious documentary, and you know, and there's this thing about making documentaries where there's this theory that once you put the camera on somebody, you change their environment, so they're no longer being truthful. So there's so many things that go into it. But my God, these visuals, these poetry with music in the desert, these shots of these people going about their lives, and I said this during the Q&A for your film, these door open close-ups, pushing shots, like the meta shots with you guys in the interview room, like seriously,
you're beautiful.
I was like
seamless,
blowing my mind up. I was like, all I know is don't shoot against a flat wall, you know. And then you guys are taking this to this level, so I got to give Sandra her flowers here, because I think it was important that you guys had a female DP for this and that you gave her impact. But Sandra, lo mataste. I'm so appreciative. I think you guys hit a home run with that. Can you tell us a little bit about, you know, how much freedom you had in setting up those shots from Rodrigo and Alex, and how that collaborative process once they brought you onto the film?
Well, thank you for your wonderful words. I'm really humble and really happy you like it, and like everybody that saw it at the festival liked it as well. And well, it's the first time I work with Rodrigo. It's the first project together, and to me, it looked like we have been working forever. It was so easy. It was relaxed. It was a really good ambience, which is really, really important to have, especially with a really tense and complicated subject. So it was really, really easy for me to work in that environment. And Rodrigo had really clear what he wanted, so that was easier for me because he really knew what was he looking for. and everything. But at the end of the day, he gave me the creativity of lighting and everything else. So yeah, he gave me a lot of things to play around. I suggested some stuff. He liked the ideas, put them on board with the project. Some other ideas, he was like, "Oh no, just keep it that way." And yeah, I don't know. It was really, it was really fun. And yeah, I'm really happy he gave me that freedom. I mean, one of the hardest things for me was to make it look so natural and inviting and, sleek in a kind of way. Because otherwise you wouldn't be able to feel. I mean, it has a bit of fantasy in the documentary. So if you kept doing like really crazy stuff with really crazy lenses or flares or whatever, I think it was gonna take you out of the story. But if we put it, like really simple and really naturalistic, I think that's what really helps the word, the story to be told, and people feel really involved and engaging in it.
I couldn't decide whether
100%.
the push-in shots were my favorite, or the little vignettes of the kids playing and running around the house, or you would catch them in the window and then you would bring them back and then come up to them on the second story. It was all flawless, or the dance segments as well in that, and even just the talking head interviews were here. All right, guys, we are live here with the team from Me Mataron Tres Veces. They were one of the featured documentaries at San Diego Latino Film Festival this past year. They will be in multiple film festivals, I would imagine, during their run this year. So if you hear about it coming to your town, go check it out. Follow Rodrigo and Alex on Instagram and Twitter. You can follow Veritas Films. Let's play the trailer before we keep going forward. Is that all right?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, sure.
Let's do it.
Nos volvimos difíciles de ver, porque somos incómodos de ver, porque nuestro dolor es el resultado de lo que no funciona en la sociedad. Si son asesinadas 11 mujeres todos los días en México, y asumimos que la mitad de ellas son mamás, ¿dónde están esas niñas y niños?
Cada feminicidio en este país está dejando en orfandad por año a 3.000, 4.000 niñas y niños en esta situación.
Nos quedamos solos, 3 hermanos, sin apoyo de ningún tipo. Huérfano, de madre y padre el mismo día. Nos toca a nosotros contar qué fue lo que pasó. Mi nombre es Angélica.
Mi nombre es Beto.
Mi nombre es Rodrigo.
Estoy huérfano porque soy huérfano.
All right.
Oof, I love that.
Yeah. We just and with,
I can't get enough.
without spoiling the film, because it's basically it's a study about a dissection of feminicidio and how it affects how each time a woman is murdered, if they have children, what they brought to society, that gets she lives ordered. And in this particular family is this family that these 3 kids are victims of their mother being murdered, and it's about their life, it's not necessarily like a gruesome retelling of it, but it is how it affected their lives and how it separated them.
Yeah.
So you have the story, you have the topic. So I'll ask Rodrigo one more question, and then I'll let Sophia go here. But but can you tell us a little bit, because there's, like I said, there's the topic, there's the importance of it, then there's the subject matter. So when you're approaching this family and you realize that you're going to, focus on them in the film, once you get all the permissions and stuff, how careful are you not to trigger them? And I know there's a good story that you told us about how, they were separated, but then this actually brought them closer together. But what kind of steps do you take from a logistical standpoint, from like a from like a compassionate standpoint, when you're focusing on this particular family and these three individuals?
Well, first of all, it took us about a year, making Zoom meetings. I mean, all the research was made during during COVID times. So everything was Zooms. But I think the most important thing about making this kind of documentaries is you need to understand that the other person is a human being. I know it sounds like obvious, but you need to understand that you do not own their story. You need to be respectful and have a lot of empathy and understand that you need to make them comfortable and make them know that you're going to treat the story, with heart, with courage, and you're not going to, to portray them in a gore way or something.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was, it's a long process. I lived this process in my other two documentaries, and I think it's about, you need to be human. I mean, you need to get in touch with your emotions. You need to listen. I think the most important advice, it will be, you need to actually sit down and listen to the other person. You need to listen to their pain, listen to their story, because that's the only way you're going to connect with them. That's the only way you're going to actually learn from them. And actually, it's going to give you like a mind map of how you're going to tell the story. And I think during this process, it's normal. You start to get trust,
Mm-hmm.
And they start trusting you. You trust in them also, and it's like one day, that the box is already open, and when the box opens, they put all their emotions, their story there in the table, and they actually have so much confidence in you that they tell you, here's my story. I'm trusting you with this, my treasure, to do the best we can. So we can, one thing that the three siblings keep telling me, one time and another time, it was one of the main reasons we are sharing our story is because we do not want this story to repeat again. We believe that if we make this documentary, people see it. I hope we can spare some kids out there from living this awful reality. So I think it's a process, and it's a long one. I mean, at the end of the day, as you saw the trailer, this is a hard topic to speak of. So yeah, it's about connecting. Honestly, there's no other way around it.
I think you did a phenomenal job at it. I mean, they really trusted you with their story, and it paid off. I think you did a great job at respecting it. So kudos to you. I do have a question, because I loved. So first of all, I went into this very blind. I had no idea. Well, I knew a little bit of the topic, que va a ser de feminicidio y todo eso, but I wasn't prepared to see how impactful it would be, and how it would be the three stories of siblings that were separated because of feminicidio. And I know in the Q&A, you told us a little bit about their stories, and I was very shocked to find that they were living very separate lives. Could you tell us a little bit about Angie, Beto, and Rodrigo, just kind of like how this project came about with all three of them?
One of the most beautiful things about the film that, Alexandra and we were talking in San Diego is, I'm going to jump ahead and then answer your question, but
Sure.
The most beautiful thing is, after their mother femicide, the three siblings, they were sent to live with different family members. Sadly, each of the siblings, they face different realities, and, Beto became almost like homeless since a very young age. Angie also, she had to, to leave the house she was assigned for, because, they have like this ideology crash. And Rodrigo, the small one, he went with his aunt, and he had another story. But the worst part is that they didn't even have time to grieve together. So shortly after the femicide, they got separated. And from that, years pass and years pass and years pass. And it was, they used to see each other, but, like every, like 100 years, they kind of stay in touch, but they didn't have like a really like a siblings relationship. And then one of the most beautiful things about the documentary is it was on April of 2021 when we sat down with them in a cafe in Coyoacán in Mexico City, and it was the first time that they saw each other in years, and it was so emotional. The meeting, and the meeting wasn't even about the documentary. These guys were like, so happy and hugging and taking pictures. And after we finished the documentary, this is the nice part of the story. They spent their first Christmas together in years, more than a decade. And the three of them, when we showed them the documentary in December of 2022, we made a private screening with them. And, the three siblings told us, I don't know what is going to happen with the documentary, but we already won. Look at us. We're together again. So it's, that's
heartwarming.
I know. That part is beautiful. And, I think there's one thing in the documentary that, not many people might catch it, but if you really analyze the narrative, at the end of each segment of each sibling, the three of them end up in a high place. If you analyze, Angie ends up in the Latino Tower in Mexico City. Beto ends up in the top of the mountain.
Yeah.
And Rodrigo ends up in the top of the World Trade Center in Mexico
Oh my God.
City.
I love
Why?
that.
Because this is like a hidden message that I wanted to portray them as warriors, not as victims. These guys, they are standing on the top of the world and they are fighters. And I didn't want the audience to feel pity for them. I wanted to see them and look at them like an example, not like victims.
Absolutely. I mean, that is really empowering. The fact also that they were able to move forward after tragedy. I just really love the fact that you spotlit the orphans of, people that are, the true victims of feminicidio, which are obviously the kids that are left alone and behind. So that was amazing. I really, really, really enjoyed the film. My thing when it comes to the topic of feminicidio is like in Mexico, I don't know about you guys, but for me, it's always the statistic of like, no sé, como que siempre lo hacen ver como que tiene algo que ver con los narcos o algo así. And we don't really talk a lot about just like the violence, the domestic violence, because at the end of the day, their mother did pass from domestic violence, right? Is that due to the machismo in our culture, and how, like, what can we do about it moving forward? Is that something that, and I want to get everyone's opinion on this. What can be done to kind of mediate this crisis?
Well, I just comment this and let Alex and Sandra talk about this more. But if you remember in the interview to Doctora Fabiola Lanis, that she is the director of CONAVIM, the institution in Mexico. She says it like really clear. The femicide doesn't happen from day to night. It doesn't go that way. Femicide is, it's like this small, she uses the word micromachismos, these small conducts, that they start to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So, but the main root of this is we cannot justify the act of violence. Femicide is still the murder of a woman just for the fact of being a woman. And we cannot take that off the table. So because like you said, some media, they're trying to justify the act, no? Like, oh, it's narcos, it's trato de blancas, it's blah, blah, blah. No, I mean, more than 80% of femicides, it's just that. It's an insecure man, for any reason that he found that day, that he commits femicide. And as you saw at the end of the film, the case of these three siblings, their family was a normal family. I mean, there wasn't any previous signs like, this guy is crazy, or he was in jail previously, or he was mixed with, I don't know, with organized crime, or nothing. This guy had a regular job. They were like in an apparent normal family, and look where he ended. So that's how femicide happens. That's the biggest challenge. How do you stop this? And in our experience, we talk about it a lot, is we need to re-educate, reprogram, and our younger men in society.
Mm-hmm.
I think, in my opinion, that's the only way to actually have a substantial change. Alex, Sandra.
Yeah, feel free to chime in if you have something.
Yeah, you want to go first, Sandy? And
Sure, thank you. Yes, I think it's something. It's really tough. I mean, we have been living like this for many centuries.
Yeah.
So it is really tough. I mean, the culture in Mexico is really macho driven, so it has to change. So we do really need to change the culture we live in. As Rodrigo said, also education is really important. In order to do that, in order to change the culture, we need to educate ourselves. We need to respect one another, but truly respect, just because we are human beings, not because anything else. Because once people start like labeling other people and like doing some stuff, discrimination is so big as well in our country that all those conducts of violence bring more violence. And as well, it's really sadly, but see what's there, what's in Netflix, what's in the news, what's in all the platforms, Amazon, wherever. There's so much violence, stories of violence all the time, that how come people are not going to be violent? I was hearing a news the other day of a little kid in China that pushed another kid inside a well just because she saw it in a TV series. So that's insane, because we tend to replicate what we see. So we keep on seeing violence, and we're gonna keep on being violent towards everybody. Another thing that is really important is believing in the victims, believing what is happening, because people always, like, at least here and in Latin America, I think it's really common to hear saying, "Oh, he touched me," and they were like, "Oh yeah, but you were wearing a skirt, isn't it? Or what were you wearing? What did you do to him for him to touch you, or to him to whistle you?" It's like, it's just, you don't do anything, you just are, and that's it. But just people are like, "No, it's your fault, it's your fault." So if you keep on saying that it's a fault of the women because of doing something, just being, so how are you going to be able to protect the woman if you're just re-victimizing? I don't know, sorry, I cannot pronounce that word in English.
Like victim blaming, sort of.
Exactly, victim. So how can you help them? And there's so many stories in Mexico of women that actually went to the police, put a restraining order towards their partner, but the police didn't pay any attention. They were like, "Oh, no, it didn't," and the restraining order didn't go through. And 2 days, 3 days later, they were found dead. Like it's insane, because the police people don't really believe it. So how come? I mean, I'm gonna become a little bit political here, but during the pandemic, our president came to the TV. He gives every morning speeches about how the country is coming. And during the pandemic, of course, the violence against women grew so much, a lot, because of course of the tension in the houses. And he said it wasn't true. Like, those calls were not true at all. And it's like, well, if you're already saying it's not true, how can you help? How can you do something against us being being violated, being raped, being murdered, being abused in any kind of way, if you just don't believe the victim? So it's really tough. We have to be educated, and we have to do a really big change of view and understand how important it is to respect one another. I don't know. So sorry, I got
no. It's a listen.
Good
it's
answer.
A topic. Good answer.
Yeah, absolutely. And adding to what Sandy and Rodrigo say, and there are like the messages we wanted to also to highlight from these three siblings, from Angie, Beto, and Rodrigo. First of all, is like, yeah, we speak about education, but best part of the first part of this education is to being able to recognize violence, and violence is coming from very different medias, very different channels, and violence can be restricting the wife or the person or the couple or the women, restricting them financially, or maybe just like words, like we put it like this big thing that is called "Me Mataron 3 veces," that it was killed 3 times, because the first time that you are killed is the moment where violence appear at home, and violence are bad words. It can be cursing, it can be like big displays or not that big, but displays of a moment in which you're doing that transgression of the integrity of a person that you see as, instead of seeing as a woman, full human being, you're seeing as a woman attached to a gender role. That's very important. Like, women should do this, women should be doing that, and the man should be doing this or that. And that's very important, because that's one thing that, instead of putting the view on this is a person that has the same rights as everybody, is like, no, she's not a person, she's not a name, she's a woman. But sometimes even people like saying like a woman, like an animal, or like an, you know, like in a very
Property.
very property, like, yeah, objectifying.
A female.
So yeah, that's what's first thing. So to be able to recognize violence, and if you are listening to certain music and the music is like, yeah, my cars and my bitches, and I don't know, like all this kind of rhetoric, well, you're starting to promote violence there. And if you are objectifying a woman in the way you see her, the way you are in your Instagram, just like, well, you're kind of like violating the idea of that's a full human being, and you're just seeing like a body or like an object again. So the information about violence, that's very important. Another thing is the strengthening of institutions, and that's a problem in Mexico, that because of the high, and also Mexico and Latin America, in many places where the women are very vulnerable, are places where they have a high corruption levels, in which the institutions are weakened. So the power is in people, like in the president, or in the politician, or in the husband, or in the man. So that is something that gets grip on the women, that sometimes don't know, they don't have anywhere to go. So the institutions, as they were saying, like, there should be refuges, there should be like institutions that can protect the woman financially, with psychological aid, with many different opportunities, so she is not dependent on the perpetrator. She's not dependent on the situation at her home. And there is a really sad moment in the documentary that tells how she was the mother of these 3 siblings. Probably at some point she was even more successful, more financially stable, and she was just like trying to get as much like foundations for her children. And the moment she could be able to afford a place or something, she was murdered. So that's one important thing. And the other one is the communication, and silence is something that it's really cooking. It's a broth that cooks violence. Like, people feel that you cannot speak about what is happening at your home. You cannot speak with a friend or with someone that you feel safe, that you can say, oh, I don't think this is right. My husband or my partner or whatever is treating me in certain ways, telling me certain things. Well, there should be certain places where you can talk about it. But in the holistic part of the problem is that men cannot speak in this also like macho rhetoric, cannot speak about their emotions, cannot speak about their insecurities, how they feel. And Beto is a really great example of how someone that got into a really strong view of like a really, I'm going to protect my family via my physical strength, and I'm going to work out, and I'm going to look like, I mean, sometimes you see Beto. I mean, he's a really good looking guy, but he's like, like very all the tattoos, and he looks tough, but he in the inside is like, we need to be able to be a little bit more vulnerable, and to be a man that can hug, that can speak with other men. And that's something that we really wanted to portray in the documentary, that we men also, like, men need to be taken care of by other men, by fellow men, that also we can make that safe space in which say, dude, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling that, and you are not feeling that you're going to be bullied or frowned upon, or you're going to be the weak and the sissy, because that generates frustration, and frustration eventually goes to violence again. So it's very important to have that space for men to be able to communicate and to have that information. So that's part of the messages that I think that will also help us to end up the violence. And finally, compassion, that to understand that everybody's going through something, that everybody's life is complicated, and the way we treat the one that we have next to our shoulder, the one that we have next to each other. And that's something really interesting on the documentary, because you see one day in the life of the siblings, and you don't know, like when you see Rodrigo in the metro just walking, well, maybe next time that you are in the metro or in the bus or something, and you see someone that bumps into your shoulder or something that, well, you never know what's happening to that person. You never know that maybe that person just went into a terrible tragedy, and you're just actually being an asshole to someone that needs caring. So,
well said, Alex.
Compassion.
Whoa.
Definitely. Yes. Mic drop.
There you go. There you go. Hey, I think you said it all. Listen, look, we're live here with a team from Veritas Films. Me Mataron tres veces. You're going to be able to see it in various festivals. I'll give you a second, Sandra, in a second. I just want to thank you, everybody, for joining us. If you are joining us live, go ahead and hit that like button. Go ahead and share the stream. Make sure you're subscribed and all that good stuff. Dizzy Ms. Lizzie, thank you for stopping by. You're always good here. Pablo M. stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Pablo. Claudia, thank you. Says thank you for all speaking out about this. Thank you for stopping by, Claudia. Rodrigo says saludos al equipo. Rodrigo, thank you very much for stopping by today. I don't want to push back on anything that you said. I do feel that when you start talking about a little bit about like music and it starts getting really close to that, like video games cause violence sort of kind of theme, that I'm not really, everything else that you said I think is 100% spot on, but I think that we still need to allow ourselves something to blow off steam. You know, a lot of the people that listen to that type of stuff women love that type of music as well. So I think it's that would be the only area that I would give you like the most tiniest bit of pushback on. As a reformed machista, because I'm Colombian, Uruguayan. I grew up with me sitting on the couch and my female cousins going to the kitchen. And I grew up with very, very machista related thoughts that I had to unlearn. So I think that's the biggest takeaway that I get from what you were saying, Alex, which is that men need a space to be able to be vulnerable and to be able to question what they learn from their older siblings, their cousins, their friends, where it's like, nah, esta es la manera que tratas a la mujer, that all the misogynistic jokes and stuff that you get taught as a kid. And when you're a kid, you're moldable and you love your mom, you love your sister. So you don't really feel that way. You're not born a misogynist. You're not born machista, but you get all this influences from your older friends at school, your older cousins. And then you start to think like, well, maybe that's how I'm supposed to be. It's like, if you want to get a woman, you have to treat her like this. And then you have to do this. And, and that's like, in this culture, it's also in American culture and, Eastern cultures, a lot of the different cultures, it's different sides of the same coin, so to speak. And if you say that 11 women get murdered every day in Mexico, then multiply that by South America, multiply that by the US, multiply that by Saudi Arabia, and stuff like that. And it becomes this epidemic. So, if we're focusing on single issues that have immense rippling effects across all things, this is a major one, because we're killing our mothers, our sisters, our cousins, and the ripple effects are affecting all segments of society. So while we're having, you know, a serious chat about an individual topic, the gravity of it, the size of it is what really floors me. So I want to thank you guys again for making this documentary and for taking that step as men, as a production team, to really be vulnerable and to put that out there. So
Yeah.
let me just get that out there. Sandra, I know you wanted to say something. Let me let Sandra go, and then Sophia, you can keep
Yeah,
going.
I wanted to add something, and that Alex said, but you also said, so it was good you made me wait. Because, I mean, one of the hardest things ever is actually to see the violence, to actually realize maybe we are being violent or we are being subject to violence. Because, as you said, we grew up in this Latin American culture that brings a lot of machismo since really old days. So you live there, you know. Here in Mexico, it's a little bit of common just to see women being murdered. You know, like it becomes so natural that some people just don't pay attention anymore because oh yeah, another person, yeah, another woman, and because it becomes so normalized. And so it's hard to see the violence. I mean, and then it becomes the hard part where people are saying, "Oh yeah, but you are the dumb girl because he was hitting you and you never did anything." It's like, yeah, but I never, you know, or said something bad to you. I was in a really bad relationship for a really long time, and whenever we were going to parties, he will say to me, "Oh, you cannot talk to any men, because if a man comes to you and speaks to you, it's because he wants to fuck you." And then I was just like, I thought he was protecting me, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I won't talk to anybody because they want, you know, like." And then I realized, like, no, he was just being so macho driven, and not allowing me to be, and just like really pushing me back and really being violent with words. But I never saw it, you know, like I truly never saw it. And that's the hard part, to realize when the person is starting to getting violent, because it starts with little things like that, and then it becomes with money, as Rodrigo said it, and then it becomes to punches or whatever, or just like pushing, and then it becomes to murder. You know, like when they don't feel like the men cannot feel, they cannot control the woman, then it's the killing. But how come we can open the eyes if the society that we live in is just so hard on us, because that's what we have lived in through so many years. So we have, that's the hard part of the education that we need. It's just like to open to the little things of, oh, I just did a really misogynist joke, so let's stop it. Oh, I just did this, so I'm going to stop it. So we realizing it and stop it. But it's hard.
Yeah, and identifying. Yeah, and yeah, definitely. I am with you, Luis, with the thing is like, yeah, those are not causes. And I am absolutely with you. I mean, I love video games, and I know the violence, and it can, but just to be able to understand that, like, where does all this come from, no? And just because all this is just like the diet is not just what you eat, but also what you see and what you hear, you know? It's just like just to be mindful that is like, oh, for us, we may be like very into this, and as you say, yeah, many women and many men in this right context in this music, and it's fine, and it's music, and it's perfect. So but it's not going there, and it's not about censorship at all, because I also believe that censorship is something that is really damaging, because in the other hand is actually we need to have all the voices heard, and the safe space also needs to be open for everybody to feel clear that they can speak their mind, and they have a right to be listened to, and even though it's something that your opinion or the opinion of somebody else is not your opinion, well, good, fine, we can have a dialogue. And I think that's a problem of nowadays culture that cancels and just like it's kind of like just like trying to shut down voices. And I think it's on the contrary. We need to hear everybody and then start to see where we can build and where we cannot. But yeah, absolutely. I think that idea of just being able to identify where, if I am identifying in that kind of behavior and you see like, oh, I want to keep on doing this, if that resonates with me, well, I might find people that are into that world. But if it's not resonating with you, well, maybe you can not go into that way and try to find new ways to treat each other in a more respectful way or more humane way, whatever.
Absolutely. I think I love that you point out that fact that censorship is it can be counterproductive. I feel like it could actually lead to men kind of like the alpha movement now, where you see all these men kind of becoming super misogynistic and angry at women because they feel like they're being controlled or whatever. So I agree that like music, video games, all of that, there's room for all of that, but it does come from society, right? Like the way that Sandra was saying about the cycle of violence, how it starts with isolation, and then once you successfully isolated the woman financially, physically, then after that the aggression grows, right? And it's a circle. It continues until someone dies. But all of that, I like to look at it from like, it's from within and outside, right? So the outside forces are society, machismo, and those are macro things that we need to definitely change. And then within are the micro machismos that you guys mentioned, which has to do a lot with just being emotionally a stable adult, mature, open, and I think one of you mentioned just humanistic, basically, like, loving one another and seeing women as not property but humans. And these are all, there's so much going on. I love that we're talking about this.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, so it's too much to undo in one day.
Beto says in the documentary that it's a really nice reflection he does. He says you need to realize that every single human being in this world was brought by a woman to this world. So it's a big rush of culture that these men are murdering women when they came. When all of them have a special woman or a woman that love in their life. So it's very, very hard to crack this down because there is no one reason because of this happening. We cannot blame it only on society or the government or the media or education. There are so many things, and that's why I think it's been so difficult to tackle this one. But absolutely. That reflection of Beto, I think we should.
I didn't know that they drank mate in Mexico, because I was like, is he in Uruguay? Because he was drinking. He was drinking mate.
Yeah.
One thing I do want to note in
right there.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, ahí estamos.
Yeah, right there.
There you go. It's como, como buen uruguayo con mi mate. So we've been talking live with the team from Veritas Films. Obviously this is too much for us to tackle in 1 hour and 1 week and 1 month of podcasts. One thing I will note, one thing I do think is that let's just a little bit on the positive side, because I do think it is becoming more normalized to check in with each other on mental health. It is becoming more normalized when you're in a group of friends and somebody makes the misogynistic joke, like, there's a watch on the stove, hey, and then you're like, it's a little bit more normalized to be able to say, man, that's kind of cringe. You should sort of check that, you should check yourself a little bit. So I do think that moving forward, there is a little bit of light in that area, that the next generation is going to be have more access to mental health, that hopefully this is not becoming normalized, that there's more films and more TV shows and more instances of people putting this out there in an interesting way so people can digest it and find it in their own way. because the only way to change is internally, right? And if you see people that start cringing when you say something misogynistic or you make a joke, and you know, for me, it was myself. I told this story many times on the podcast. My friend was having a tattoo artist coming to the house, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm having a tattoo artist coming to the house." And I was like, "Oh, okay. When are they going to be here?" And they're like, "Yeah, she's going to be here around 4." And I was like, "A woman tattoo artist?" And and in my mind, I couldn't comprehend that there was a woman tattoo artist. And it was that moment for me. This wasn't recently. This was like 18 years ago. That I sort of had to stop and talk to myself and be like, why are you thinking this way? And from there, gradually, I started shedding a lot of stuff like that through self-discovery, and through finding strong women in my life that I respected and that helped me be who I am. So I think hopefully your movie and the movement and talking about it and not letting it normalize helps sort of, you know, begin to chip away at this problem. Obviously, it's not going to go away overnight, and I know that we're not going to fix it in one podcast. But I do want to once again thank you for this incredible piece of learning, of education, but also of art that you all collaboratively made. I've always said that film is a collaborative art, and
Yes,
nothing that I saw at this festival solidified that idea for me more than that.
Yeah.
So I want to thank you guys. I want to thank you guys and the whole team for being on today with us.
Genuinely, thank you for being on, and thank you for choosing the hardest topics to tackle. I think that's very important. And like
thank you for doing that so that I can make dick jokes and make people laugh.
Yeah, pretty much.
Exactly.
I do want to ask you guys, what's up with these shoes in this picture? Because
oh my
god, what are those?
We were how old were we? We were 20. Look at that faces.
Wow.
I got a thing I got on Amazon that'll help you clean those right up. I'm just gonna let you know.
Thanks, man.
Style. Wow.
Yeah, Rodrigo's got the bell bottoms going. Yeah. What's going on?
When was this taken?
Many years ago.
Yeah, we were in uni in college. Like we were 21 maybe.
21.
I mean, we were 40 now. I mean, I'm about to be 40. He's 40. I mean, so it's been a while.
2013, 10 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully you got some better kicks on right now. All right. So
yeah, we do.
yeah, we can improve that game.
I was trying to figure out how to go from a super serious subject to a joke, and I think I nailed.
I think you nailed it. There you go.
It was really good. It was really good.
Thank you guys.
You nailed it.
I also want to tell you, because I saw one of your posts of people that were looking at us and commenting on YouTube, and one of them actually is Rodrigo from one of the brothers.
Yeah.
So, thank you. Beautiful. He's listening.
Rodrigo Arroyo. Yeah.
Oh, that's Rodrigo from the. Okay.
Oh my gosh, that's the Rodrigo. I love you.
Yes. He's there, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, I love you. You're amazing. Oh my gosh.
Right.
I'm a little starstruck.
No. Look, if you're able to catch the film when it comes close, if not, I'm sure it'll be part of the streaming network. Look out for Rodrigo, Alex, Sandra. You know, you guys are awesome. It was awesome to be able to spend time with you guys during the festival. And I wish you nothing but luck and success in the future. So I want to thank you guys for coming on today.
Yes, thank you.
Likewise.
We love you.
Thank you for the space.
All right. Abrazos de Rodrigo. Thank you, Rodrigo. Thank you for your
Saludos, Tocayo.
Saludos, Rodrigo. Okay, Alexandra, Rodrigo, thank you for coming on. I'll let you guys go, and we're gonna definitely be following your work and making sure that we'll put all the tags to Veritas Films and to all your things in the description so that people can follow you and let us know.
Yeah.
We'll be following Sandra because I want to see whatever the next movie that she shoots. I want to do that, and hopefully when we shoot our next movie, she'll give me a little discount. We have all right, Sandra. Here's my pitch. It's a movie called Alien Story, and it's it's a planet where women have taken over. They're the rulers of the planet. So it's a female-driven sci-fi comedy.
I love sci-fi.
All right,
and then Alex can edit it.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. She's in. She's committed. We're good.
Nice.
You have a new team there.
All right, guys.
Thank you, guys.
Saludos.
Love you guys.
Thank you, guys. See you.
Bye. All right. as we are talking with the team from. Whoo! Wow.
That was awesome. I love them.
Man.
Dude, we didn't even mention the fact that we watched their film at like 12 a.m. and we were exhausted.
We were exhausted
and
after a day of like streaming.
Half asleep. We went in, and as soon as we watched it, we were like so taken aback. It woke us up, and we were like, we stayed till the Q&A. We had a ton of questions. I held my pee. Like I was like, this is so good.
Absolutely. I held my pee too. No, honestly, we were like, hey, we were like, what are we gonna do? We were having drinks, and they were like, well, we gotta go. We gotta go make an appearance. We gotta pop in there. And then once we were there, we literally could not leave.
We couldn't move. Yeah.
We couldn't move. So
go
see it. Yeah, I'll note everything. And I just had
Me Mataron Tres Veces. Go watch it, please.
Tres Veces, Beta Films. I'm gonna put the link to the sneaker picture in the chat.
That is a beautiful picture. I want that as my background.
So we can watch that. So thank you very much to Sandra, Alex, for stopping by today. All right.
Oh, God, I love him. All right. Whew. Wait, is Rosa coming on today?
Yes, we have to make an announcement right now.
Okay, cool.
But listen,
spoilers.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you, everybody, for stopping by. So quickly, let's transition. Let's transition here. We gotta cleanse the palates. And we have to move on to entertainment and tabs and all that. But we do have a quick announcement to make, and that is that Mi Gente show has been and is me and Sophia talking about reacting to news and culture, but we'd always been looking to add additional voices, correspondents, special guests, different people that can collaborate with us,
we love collaborating,
etc. We love doing that. And we want to make it official, make it YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook official.
Oh my gosh.
That we have invited Rosa Parra to be an official member of Mi Gente show as a Hollywood and entertainment correspondent.
Yeah.
She'll be appearing as many times as she wants to talk about as much as she wants to and hang out with us. And so we want to welcome Miss Rosa Parra to the stream.
Yeah.
Hey.
What's up, girl?
What's up?
My God. I'm so happy. And most importantly, I'm so grateful that you guys would even think of me and even
we love you.
Grant me this amazing opportunity. Incredibly honored to be amongst amazing peers.
Oh, the honor is all ours. You are an expert, and I'm excited for you to share your expertise.
Listen, we'll
you're like,
we got to go about the business of jumping you in at some point, but other than that, hey, welcome aboard. You know,
it's all good. I'm accustomed to it. It's
you gotta show your gorgeous face at some point, Rosa.
You're gonna show, next time in San Diego, it's on site, Rosa. But other than that, I'm just kidding.
Perfect.
All right, Alexandra, thank you for stopping by, Alexandra. Hello, joining us from Central America. All right, Rosa. Well, baptism by fire. You're here to chat with us about the entertainment world. So, what stories have you been covering? What is the biggest thing that's happening in entertainment? Is it Blue Beetle? Is it Barbie? Is it Super Mario? Is it Oppenheimer? What's happening? Talk to us, Rosa.
Oh my God, everything's happening. It seems like Hollywood all of a sudden woke up on Monday. They must have been disappointed, I guess, from Weekend's WrestleMania or something. They're like, you know what? We're going to give you anything we can so you guys can forget and cleanse the palate from the horrible weekend we had. And they just dropped trailer after trailer after trailer. And man, what an abundance. We started with the Blue Beetle trailer, and then they gave us Barbie, and then they gave us the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse trailer. And man, it's been a busy week, and you know what, I could not be happier to be a film critic.
Nice, absolutely. Which one are you looking forward to the most? Is it Blue Beetle?
Obviously, yeah, Blue Beetle. Man, that trailer is it's everything.
I can't play the audio because they'll knock us down, but we're having it playing here in the background here. As we get to listen, if this movie does good, what are they going to say to make it that it wasn't because it was a Latino superstar, right? What are they going to do, right?
Yeah, Yeah, I think that this trailer it's very promising. It's giving us a little insight to who are going to be these characters, what's going to happen. Jaime Reyes, how does he come across? There we go. Into the Scarab, what happens then, and then how he eventually becomes Blue Beetle, and from there on, we just get a little taste to the aesthetic of this all, a little taste of the energy it has. It just looks incredible.
Yeah.
Sadly, there's been some controversy surrounding the trailer, particularly by the end of it. But you know what? I frankly do not find any issues with it. I disagree with what a lot of people are being critical about.
What were they being critical about exactly?
Yeah, so in the trailer we have the character of George Lopez who plays Rudy. He's the uncle.
Oh, the Tío.
Yeah, el tío loquito. And
he checks out.
Yeah. and then at the end of the trailer he says Batman is a fascist. Y la gente, well, everybody lost their minds, like the Joker, the Joker meme.
Oh, Batman is a fascist.
Yeah, so they towards ahorita vas a ver, they're like in this laboratory or something where they have all these cool weapons and such, and electronics and technology, and somebody makes a comment like, oh, this is like what Batman has. And then it cuts to the George Lopez character saying, oh, Batman is a fascist. Y así termina the trailer.
Sounds like a joke, though.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's how it ends. It's right after this.
It looks pretty badass.
Yeah, it's right after. It's right here. They make the comment with Batman, and then he replies, "Batman is a fascist."
Oh my god!
Right?
That sounds like it was funny. Come on.
I was laughing for various reasons.
Batman is pro-police. All right. I mean, I don't know. All right. So then we go from that to Barbie, right?
Oh gosh, Barbie.
Yeah, what happened here?
Man, Warner Brothers on a roll, man.
Truly.
Look at that.
This is the shot. This is the shot right here.
Yes. Look at that. Yeah, this one I think is just an introduction to all the Barbies, all the Kens, and where they live, and give you just a taste of all the colorful, vivid production design, I'm assuming, because it doesn't really give us anything about the story. I think it's just introducing us to this world, and that's about it. So if you were to ask me what is the plot, what is the story, I have zero clue. Based on the trailer alone.
But you know what? I'll watch it.
This is what our aesthetics is gonna be.
Yeah.
And just sort of get used to it. And then
I hope it gets dark.
Right?
But Margot Robbie is Barbie though.
She is.
There's no denying that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
All right. Wait,
what?
I'm just gonna ask this, and you can smack me for it if you'd like, but did Ryan Gosling hit the wall? Is that what's happening here, or is he still hot? What's going on here? Is that because I saw a little bit of feedback on that Ryan Gosling is no longer hot?
They made him not as hot. I don't know. The tan is pretty severe.
I never thought he was hot. So not
Rosa.
Gosling. No.
What?
No.
He's not the hottest Ryan, but he's hot. Come on.
Yeah, I don't know. Who do you think would have made a better Ken here? Anybody that you can think of? I don't know.
Ryan Reynolds. Sorry. Talking about hot Ryans.
Right.
The better Ryan.
You like,
Yeah, the better Ryan. Wait, what was the controversy with this one? I saw there was some sort of controversy. What happened here?
With Barbie?
Yeah, was there something? No?
Oh, I'm not sure. I know a lot of people went overboard because they give access to make like your own Barbie poster or something like that. So everybody was posting.
My Instagram was spammed.
Yeah, the meme was, what is Barbie listening to or something, right?
Yeah. And I mean, I found the perfect one, which is Oh darn, I forgot her name, but I shared it on Twitter. I was getting a little bit annoyed, and then that one popped up, and I was like, okay, this is perfect. The villain from the Addams Family Values, what's her name again? She's played by Joan.
Yeah.
I forgot her name. Joan Cusack, I think. And yeah, and then when she kidnaps all the Addams family, and she gives her story in her speech that all she wanted was a Barbie and a Barbie doll and a house, and then they just I was like, okay, this is perfect. This is the perfect meme for me.
That was the one. I'm over here looking for it.
Here's this. There it is.
There it is.
There it is. That is beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah. Hey.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that, and then people are rooting for it to beat the Oppenheimer movie, right?
Yeah.
Which they're still coming out on the same day.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm also excited about that. I think that sounds like a really cool movie. I mean, we're in a good place right now. We got a lot of cool stuff coming out. So, do you feel like there's any? Do you think that Blue Beetle or also the trailer for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 dropped, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we're gonna get a little whatever you want. You want aesthetically pleasing plastic people. You want talking raccoons. You want Latino superheroes. Whatever you want. You want serious movies about the atom bomb. All that stuff's coming.
Yes.
Yeah. Such a diversity.
I mean, that's good. We're in a good period, and I think we're in a post-COVID. Not that we're post-COVID, but we're post-COVID boom here. You also got to see the new Super Mario movie, which everybody was ragging on, specifically related to the Mario voice. How long did it take you to sort of get over that part of it while you were watching it, or was it an issue all throughout, or did you not really notice it, or?
Chris Pratt as Mario. I'm gonna be completely honest. I was sitting there next to one of my friends, and the first thing that came out of my mouth was like, "That's Chris Pratt." I didn't even recognize it. It wasn't even distracting at all. He does such a great job as Mario. But you know what? I had a blast with this. I had a tremendous fun time with this movie. Granted, I grew up playing the video games, and I was just transported back to little 7-year-old Rosa playing Nintendo with her neighbors, and they do such a great job with the animation and bringing everything to life, and just the games and the references, and even mixing in the music and the tunes of the game into the score of the film. It was just nicely done. To me, I loved it. I know it's not getting a really good Rotten Tomato score right now, but I'm on board with the audience score.
Yeah, absolutely. It looks awesome. It looks like one long cutscene, but it does look incredible.
Yeah. Oh no, it's stunning. It's really stunning.
John Leguizamo said he wouldn't watch it because they didn't have enough Latinos, even though they have our favorite Vanilla Beaner. Anya Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, she's literally the princess, but apparently she's not enough.
All right, this is something that I found. It's related to what we're talking about here. This is a commentator called Anna Perez from Wrong Think, and these are her thoughts on The Princess.
Now you might be thinking, Anna, who cares? It's just some dumb movie, but you should care, and here's why. Because what they are doing is they're trying to brainwash society to think that that's how women are supposed to be, and this is dangerous because then we have women who go out there who think they're men, and they wind up getting hurt, they wind up getting raped, they wind up getting, because this is who's going to consume this content? Well, young kids, right? It's a cartoon. Adults, unless you're a loser, you're probably not going to want to watch that, right? So unless you're watching it with your kids. But the reality is, this has actual ramifications on society. Young women see stuff like this, and it just brainwashes them to be a feminist, to be a badass feminist, and it's not realistic. Women are not as strong as men. Women aren't the ones who are going to go out there and be like, watch this, let me kick ass. This like badass culture is actually ruining women, and it's ruining society, and nobody knows where they stand anymore. So actually, it has real consequences. I'm sick and tired of seeing unrealistic things like that. Please make her a helpless princess again, okay?
Oh,
That's
honey.
a lot more fitting for Princess Peach. Sorry, someone had to say it.
That is
Oh, sweetie.
that is a mild take.
Yeah, totally. You know what? In the last segment that we had, we got really deep about Feminicidio. This is one thing that I wanted to touch upon is how women can also be part of the problem. Like how it's not only men, it's in society, it's we are all affected by society and by machismo, and this is what it breeds is females like this that just continue to like bring down feminism and empowerment. Like, shut the fuck up. I'm sorry. You're stupid. Cállate. That's all I got to say.
Look, I'm not even gonna say I can change her. I'm not even gonna say because I think she's beyond saving.
She's too far gone. She's just no.
She literally said, "Make Princess Peach
helpless again."
Helpless again.
You go be helpless. You go let like go live your life. Let other people live their lives.
We got cut off for a minute. Okay, but we're back now. Okay, got it.
Okay.
Okay, we were watching this horrible take. this lady.
The universe was
not even the stream wanted to hear it.
Look.
That's how bad you're taking.
StreamYard was like, ugh. StreamYard was like, cringe. Also Ana Perez. Come on, Anna.
Girl, no, be better.
Oh my. It's a video game adaptation.
People were like, wait till she finds out that like she had her own video game in like 1988. Like she's always been a badass. What are you talking about?
It's a video game. They all have powers and whatever.
But even then, I mean, I guess it's a matter of perspective. But when I watched the movie, she didn't come across as being like condescending or being having that level of I don't want to say empowerment because she certainly is the princess of that land, but she doesn't come across as being I don't know how can like emasculating Mario or anything like that. There's none of that in the film. And at the end of the day, that's her world. That's what she's been living there for her entire life. So how is she gonna survive this if she's the only human, quote unquote, surrounded by toads? So of course she has to obviously develop some survival tactics here. Otherwise, how is she gonna survive this land? And again, I'm talking about a fucking video game adaptation.
Living with toads.
Exactly. Mushrooms of all things. They eat mushrooms in this film, y'all. Spoiler alert.
Uh-oh.
And that was cool with her, but it's the woman that can fight here and there. And she lends Mario a hand. She teaches him how to do certain things here and there. And of course they do mushrooms and they kind of make jokes about it, but I guess her being a badass is her issue here.
Mm-hmm. I feel like it's just a reactionary take to have people up in arms. So you know what? Go be an ignorant person somewhere else.
Yeah. I hadn't even seen that. I just saw it right now, and I'm literally speechless. I'm like, really?
I know. It's also funny how her show is called Wrong Think. Like,
oh, there we go.
Why?
Based on her opinion.
Based on her, yeah, exactly. Oh man.
Wow. That's crazy.
¿Dónde se fue Luis? Ah, bueno.
Yeah, he said he was gonna come back. I don't know.
Nice.
Maybe the dogs are those his dogs or yours?
Yeah. Oh, the one that's barking?
Yeah.
No, that one's mine. I'm sorry. She's loud. Oh. She's fighting with the next door neighbor's dog. Right now when I muted myself, I was yelling at her. Not fighting, like aggressive. No, like they're barking at each other across the wall.
Yeah. They're communicating. Then they're just gossiping. Yeah.
Probably.
Talking about the day. Yeah.
Talking about the wrong thing.
Yeah. Did you see that street? Yeah, I did.
I did.
So Rosa, you so what else is out right now that you've seen that you would recommend, or is there anything else that's getting a lot of hype that you're not too keen on?
I absolutely loved John Wick 4. But I know that's been out for a while and it's been making its money, so I'm sure a lot of people have seen it.
I loved it.
Oh yes.
Yeah, he only says 380 words the entire movie,
Mhm.
but and he's almost a secondary. He's almost like not the star of his own film, which is
No.
insane. But that franchise knows what it is. It doesn't try to sugarcoat what it is. It gives it to you. And I don't know, man. I'm so invested in trying to figure out how they have all those roller derby lesbians running their organization. And they're still using like IBM 386s, like with like green screens and stuff like that. And somehow 3 out of every 8 people are assassins. It's an interesting world that they built, but
Mhm.
for me, this is right. I think the first one, obviously, because it was so new, and then this one are my favorites.
Mhm.
Right? I mean, 2 and 3 are sort of a little bit forgettable, and also like they had like a big guy. They had like a fat guy fighting,
Yeah.
which was fucking awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
a little big guy representation over there doing big kicks and stuff. It was pretty nice.
Yeah. No, you know what? I remember being in the theater and seeing it. I took my older kid to see it with me. And you're right, there's very little dialogue to it, but there is so much visual storytelling. Not only visual in terms of the cinematography, but visually in terms of, I mean, come on, these are like actors whose sole presence tell you so much. Come on, it's like Ian McShane and
Donnie Yen.
Yes, they just
Like-
tell you so much just with their posture and such. So yeah, who needs dialogue when those men are just standing there telling you everything?
Because I love Rogue One, and I think that the fact that they had Donnie Yen there was sort of awesome, but they didn't really give him that much to do. You know, it coincidentally played a blind guy in both, right?
Yeah.
Why do you have to make? Why do you have to keep making Donnie Yen blind? Like, come on. But this one, he was really at the heart of it, you know, of the movie and stuff like that. No spoilers, obviously, but it was incredible.
Right.
It was incredible and incredible. It was actually the first time that Mi Gente show got a hookup because of being Mi Gente show. We got hit up and they're like, "Do you guys want to come to a preview?" And I was like, "Yes." So that was nice. Sophia couldn't make it, but I went, so it was kind of like the first time taking advantage of that. So that was awesome, and I held my pee because I was like, I don't want to leave the movie because we got invited. I'm getting to see it for free in a preview, but I was like, how long can it be? And they're like, if we see your phones out, we're gonna kick you out. And I was like, trying to like, how long is John Wick 4? And it was like, and it was like almost 3 hours. And I was like, what?
Dude.
So I had to have a talk with my bladder real quick. Like, all right, we're going to be in here for a minute. But it was really worth it, man. It was really worth it to see it. So John Wick 4, Rosa recommends go see. I'm actually going to go watch Super Mario on Saturday with the Minion at a autism sensory screening that they have at AMC where they so that the kids can run around, they keep the lights on. So I'll be able to watch it on a theater. So that's gonna be cool. And we look forward to figuring out whether Rosa was right about Mario Brothers.
I want to see it too. Shit.
Yeah.
All right, here's a couple of things that I caught. HBO is greenlighting or is early talks to develop a Game of Thrones prequel about Aegon the First. Aegon the Conqueror, who conquered everything except Dorne. Sophia, as a Game of Thrones head, how excited are you about this?
Let me sit on it for a second. Sure. I don't know. I guess I will have an opinion once I watch it. I will give it a shot because I do love the world, but I don't know. I don't know how much faith I have in the story. And then also, here's the thing. It's hard to do prequels for Game of Thrones to make them as exciting because you already know how it ends, in my opinion. And whereas the first one was like this grand, you know, like there was the end of the world. Like they were fighting for the end of the freaking world. And it was like awesome. And there's nowhere really to go. before that. I think there's a lot of stories to be told, but it's sort of like I've seen it with Harry Potter, and nothing is as good as Harry Potter. Like, you know, you see Fantastic Beasts and you're like, yeah, that's cool, that's Dumbledore. Like, you know, I don't know. At least for me, I get less excited. I'm willing to give it a shot though. I'll be open-minded.
Rosa, are you more excited about this or about the Jon Snow post Game of Thrones world project?
Oh no, definitely this. This is it's gonna be following Aegon and then his sister wives, I guess. But they were the main ones who conquered everything and so on, except for Dorne. I'm also excited for what they're gonna be doing with Nymeria and the 10,000 ships as well, which is
that's true.
Yeah, that one's gonna be very interesting to look at. And if they go into, I don't know, somehow both series either end or one ends and the other one begins and somehow share an episode or something, like why couldn't they conquer Dorne and then that's where Nymeria and the 10,000 ships ends, then that'd be very cool to
I think that would be I think that would be the coolest thing, because Dorne has such a rich history and like they're the only ones that weren't conquered, so I do want to see that drama, like what happened.
If you have such big dragons, why couldn't you do it?
Why couldn't you? And Nymeria's a badass. Like I just love the history when Arya said why she named her wolf that. I was like, that's cool. I want to know about Nymeria.
I had all my eggs in the Duncan Egg prequel,
series,
but that one never got off the ground. So we shall see. We shall see what happens. I mean, we're also, I think the news also came out that the next season of what is the current show called? House of the Dragon, right?
Yeah.
Is only going to be like 7 episodes, or they're doing a shorter season because they want to hold off on a couple.
They want to stretch it out.
They're stretching it out. Stretching it out.
That's what I was thinking, because I'm like, I know how that ends, and I'm like, you can't stretch it over 10 seasons and 10 years. Like it's a smaller story than that, so that makes sense.
All right. In other entertainment news that I had bookmarked here, Barbie Ferreira relieves that she is leaving Euphoria because she was tired of the fat best friend stereotype. If you're a fan of Euphoria, you sort of understood that her character was really a big presence in the first season. They sort of made her, they sort of underplayed her or took a back seat in season 2. And there was a lot of rumors that she didn't get her along with with Sam Levinson, the showrunner, and that there was like a toxic set and all these other things that happened. So any thoughts on her not getting sort of an extended run, or how do you feel about this? I know Sophia, I don't know if Rosa watches Euphoria. I know Sophia, you've seen it.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know about this. I'm kind of heartbroken. I love her character. And yeah, I get the fat best friend stereotype, but she's also, I feel like, so much more. They really, right? Like, don't you think that they gave her a lot more zhuzh than just the fat best friend?
Yeah, they gave her like a big girl empowerment arc in season 1, and sort of like this anti-slut shaming thing, like sort of liberation thing. But I don't really think they didn't really give her anything to do season 2.
That's true. They really slept on her season 2. Man, I wonder if there were talks. I wonder if she talked to the executives and were like, hey, give me something better in season 3, and then they couldn't come to an agreement. I could see that happening. Okay, I can see why she would do that decision. Yeah.
Rosa, any thoughts? Are you a Euphoria fan or TV fan?
I don't watch it. No, I'm very limited into
Rosa's worried
TV
about movies.
Yeah. It's good. It gets you. But
it gets you.
That's sad. I really loved her character.
Aw.
Bummer.
Rosa, anything else happening in the entertainment world? What's coming up that you're excited about, or that you're going to get to see soon?
Well, I had the chance to watch, I think it opens tomorrow, but it's only limited release, and then the following week it opens wider. And it's a smaller indie film. It's called How to Blow Up a Pipeline.
Okay.
It's I think it's being released by Neon, and it just follows a group of environmental activists based on a true story, and who literally go blow up an oil pipeline, and the reasonings behind all of that. And it's an hour 40-minute movie, very tense and thrilling and suspenseful. because you are dealing with detonating, with exploding devices and so on and so forth, because they have to do everything at home, and it's just like a heist thriller that it's well made. It's obviously an indie movie, but well acted, well made, very memorable. I haven't stopped thinking about it, and I watched it like 2 weeks ago, so certainly something to keep an eye out for.
Okay.
Out of
All right.
love, a pipeline. Okay, I want to see that.
Let's put it. It's on.
Awesome.
We're putting it on the
Somebody to watch
radar.
Putting
Putting
on the
it on.
list.
All right, guys,
All
and
right.
this is an interesting thread that I found, which was basically talking about going into another week, and I want to remind everyone of the wide appeal that Latinx-led films and TV shows can have when studios invest in their success. Last weekend, not only did Scream 6 and The Last of Us beat box office and viewership records, they also beat records internationally. Audiences are not turned off by seeing more than one Latinx person on screen. The idea that they will think content is too Latinx by simply the appearance of more than one Latinx person is not true. However, audience do want realistic portrayals, not embedded in stereotypes. Latinx leads undeniably have global appeal. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. So we have to normalize Latinx excellence. We have to talk about it, write about it, share it, make it happen. And it's awesome that we have Rosa here that does exactly this.
Yeah.
How do you feel like about this topic, Rosa? Do you sort of see your role in it in terms of your role as a critic and being out there about it, and do you see movement sort of gradually from when you started your journey as a film critic and reviewer to now, like incrementally?
Yeah, there's definitely been improvement. I've taken a note of that, because when my original podcast first started, it was with the purpose of highlighting Latino representation and contribution in Hollywood, because I wasn't learning it from school and I wasn't seeing it anywhere else. So since I had started that, little by little, there was more movies coming out, more documentaries. We had a Walter Mercado documentary, and then Danny Trejo, and then before we know it, we're getting the Rita Morenos, and then we're going to be getting more documentaries coming up. So, and then we start seeing a little bit more of Latinos represented in superhero films, MCU and the DC. So definitely seeing an improvement. I mean, I'm not going to take credit for anything. I'm just just
little
happy.
Part. You're playing your part.
Hey, what do they say about critics? We're not good enough to make movies, so we just resort to critique them.
That ain't true.
Although I am thinking about possibly doing something, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, you know who to cast. You know me.
Hey!
You know who to hire to direct or edit. Or
Let's do this.
Mi Gente Show Productions. All right, Rosa. Well, again, we want to thank you for coming on and spending a couple of minutes with us. We look forward to your contributions moving forward. It is official. You are Team Mi Gente. So thank you very much for stopping by, and we look forward to you being able to stop by whenever you can to give us your thoughts on the week's news and entertainment.
Yes. Oh no, thank you guys. This was very fun. I miss this. I miss talking to people and just talking about movies and trailers and movies that are coming out. It's really, really fun. Looking forward to it, guys. Cannot be more honored. Thank you.
Need you, because I feel educated on stuff that otherwise I am the worst at keeping up with. So thank you. Please.
Thank you, Rosa. Follow Rosa at the Daily Chela. You can find her on Twitter. You can find her on Rotten Tomato, Rosa Parra. Make sure that you guys keep following us, and then we'll make sure that we keep having her on the show as her busy children, scientists, movie reviewer schedule, now future filmmaker happens. So Rosa, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next week.
Alrighty, sounds good. Thank you guys. Bye.
All right, Rosa.
Bye.
All right, that was Rosa.
Yeah, official entertainment correspondent of Mi Gente Show. Dude, that was awesome. Not gonna lie, whenever she comes on for to talk about films, I'm always so backed up, and now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be up to date. This feels great.
Yeah, absolutely. Cyro, I'd be curious to see if a film based on Hogwarts Legacy. So my question is, are you playing the Hogwarts game? And are you boycotting it?
I wouldn't. That is a good topic. I wouldn't boycott it necessarily. I think that, why boycott it? It doesn't really have anything to do with J.K. Rowling. There's other people that worked on it that don't have her ignorant viewpoints. So there's really no point in boycotting it. Will I play it if I get the time? But I do think it hasn't released I have a Switch. I have a Nintendo Switch. That's the console that I have. So I believe it hasn't really been released for the Switch yet. Once it does, though, I will think about it. It's been recommended highly. So, if I have the time, sure. What about you? Do you still play video games, by the way?
I
feel
do.
like you've been busy. Okay.
I do like to have video games. I think that the only issue is that when I have my PlayStation right next to me, I play too much. So then it takes away from editing and other work I have to do. So the thing that makes you a better editor is when I hide my PlayStation and I don't have it next to me, because I do have a tendency to get lost and stuff like that. So definitely. But I was curious to see if Claudia's still around, if she likes that. Also, this is a Claudia specific tab. There is somebody's designing a tarot deck inspired by Game of Thrones. Daenerys Targaryen as the tower. So
that would be so nice.
Cyro, let us know how you feel about that. All right.
Okay,
Let's we got to dive into some tabs. We got some anonymous ways and stuff. So let's knock some of those out.
Yeah. Let's see how fast we can go.
Let's see what we can get into. You took a bathroom break. I took a water break. So we have to flex those muscles.
We have there was an hour-long interview, correspondent, and all right, let's see how much we can jam pack in the next 30 minutes.
Cyro says she needs to be all over that. I'll send you the link so you can follow it. All right, but here before we got to get started, this is something, and I created a little thing for it, a segment that we like to call Hellscape Watch.
Oh my God. Oh my God, you did not. We look so serious. We're like,
I had to find like the most serious picture of us to make it look like.
I love it. Oh my God.
This is fine. I figured you like it.
This is fine.
Sarah says, don't tell Joe Clam. He says, I have too many tarot decks. All right. A secret safe with us.
She does. I've seen them.
There's not enough. All right. Let's see. Moving right along to the Hellscape Watch. All right. Let's jump into a couple of these things. Let's see how many we can get into. Let's see what we got here. Okay. So let's start in Kansas.
Yeah.
Let's start in Kansas. Kansas Republicans have successfully overridden a government veto to now authorize. I can't believe I'm saying this. There's a law now that will authorize genital inspections of children in order for kids to play sports. So a total of 2 student athletes of the 109,402 students in Kansas City school activities currently identify as transgender. Obviously, that number is probably bigger. In terms of being openly transgender, Republicans think this is such a crisis that they passed a law to allow genital inspections if someone challenges a child's gender on a school sports team. So basically, if you have a daughter or who is good at basketball and she scores 18 points in a game or 12 rebounds, has a particularly dominating game, one of the parents from the opposing school can request that your daughter's genitals are checked to make sure that she is a biological female or risk throwing that child out. Now, this is the most hellscapiest of hellscapiest. What kind of parent, what is this?
I don't know. What the hell? This is so beyond disgusting and pedophilic. Like what? Why? In what world is this okay where you would allow anybody to check a child's genitals? For what purpose? I understand, but it's just no, I don't understand. Never mind. This is just really creepy, and it's giving me Catholic church vibes, and I just don't like it. Under no circumstances should a child's genitals be checked by, no, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, this is I don't know, man. Like this, yeah, it could be it's performative politics. It's basically like you're the party that's calling people predators and are mad at drag
Groomers.
shows
Yeah.
and groomers, yet you want to be able to order a child to pull down their pants and
Yeah.
show you their junk.
And by whom too? Like, the people that are gonna apply for this job are gonna be pedos. Like, bro.
Like, well, at least they know where to go look for applicants. Like they go to fucking,
Yeah.
to I don't understand it. This is definitely the top hellscape article of today.
Yeah.
So Kansas, get your shit together.
Yeah, what the hell, Kansas?
Well, do you vote for something? The governor is like, no, this is stupid. I'm vetoing it. And then all of a sudden you override a veto, making it legal to check children's genitals for sports purposes.
I think the transphobia just runs that deep. Like, I really truly believe that there are a lot of right-wingers that are just so incredibly triggered and scared by trans people.
Mhm.
Because why the fuck do you care? I'm not gonna lie. I was having this conversation with a friend about just like trans people in sports in general, and I was just like, why is this the most pressing issue of all time? Like, it's not. It shouldn't be. Like, we should be fighting for healthcare. We should be fighting for, the student loan relief. We should be fighting for more accessible infrastructure and food. And like, why? Why is this something that bothers you so much? I checked how many trans children that age range are in Kansas, and it was not that many. I think it was a total of 3.
There's 2 out of 109,000 students that identify as trans registered in Kansas schools.
Yeah.
So 2 trans athletes, they want to make a rule that you can check all kids' genitals. It's like gun control. Nah.
No.
Student lunches. Nah.
And what's crazy is like, we need to feed these students. Why are we checking their genitals instead of feeding them?
Right. It's this is performative politics. It is taking an issue that affects 0.00000% of the population. The kids don't care. Nobody cares. It's not a thing. The times that there's going to be an athlete that takes advantage of a situation like this is going to be super rare for you to start making rules about it. And now you want to make it so that if a kid has a big game at sports ball, somebody from the opposing team could be like, that's tranny. The trannies, check they got balls under there. Like, what is the process like? What is it? Do you stream it live? And then what if they check it? How are the parents going to believe it? I need to see for myself. Like, what is the process?
Show me your genitalia.
It is probably the dumbest, most hellscapiest thing that we have this week. So
it really is.
Kansas, go fuck yourself. At the same time, Baltimore's Catholic Church sexually abused at least 600 children over 60 years, the AG of Maryland says. So 600. So the church, which you stand behind or you think is the backbone of your Republican Party, the church, the Catholic Church, sexually abused 600 children over 60 years.
Yeah.
In Maryland. But
in Maryland, alone.
In Maryland alone. Fucking the number in Kansas is going to be probably above that. Yeah. And you're worried about drag shows and trans athletes.
Yeah, it's a whole like pedophilic sex ring with the Catholic Church. It really is. Have you seen the movie Spotlight? Because it's just the amount of people that have been affected over just like child molestation in the Catholic Church is actually insane. And then there was a story a few years ago, I forgot what state, I don't know if it was Virginia or whatever, but there was like a church where they actually had they branded kids with like a certain color cross. So like after they had been groomed, just to tell the other priests like, oh, that one is like, they've been groomed. They're ready. I know, it was sickening. I was like, oh my God.
All right.
But yeah, no, drag shows are really what's hurting kids.
The hellscape continues. Idaho passes law to restrict interstate travel for abortion care for minors. So all these laws keep getting passed, to restrict abortion, and now they want to restrict the ability to travel out of state for abortions. Recruiting, harboring, or transporting the pregnant minor within the state commits the crime of abortion trafficking. So driving somebody across state lines to get an abortion could be punishable by 2 to 5 years in prison. The law criminalizes transporting a pregnant minor without parental consent within Idaho to get an abortion or abortion pills, which means it could apply to an Uber driver. Right? Like what if you're just an Uber driver and you're transporting somebody to the clinic, and then all of a sudden it's like, ha, you abated and aided a minor.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah.
No, just no.
Hellscape. This is an interesting one. North Carolina state legislator switches parties, handing GOP veto-proof majority. So, a North Carolina registered Patricia Cotham made the announcement that this was 5 months after winning an election in a deep blue district in Carolina. She had been a Republican for many years. She had even made an emotional speech on the floor of their Senate or Congress talking about her own abortion. She was called a baby killer. Then she left Congress for a while and went to work for, I believe, one of those non-public schools, a charter school. And then she came back. She ran in a very blue district as a Democrat to support women's rights to abortion. And 5 months after being elected, she is officially switching parties from Democratic to Republican, which will now give the Republican Party a veto-proof majority.
Dude, that should not be allowed. How is that allowed?
Well, Kristen Sinema went to independent, but nobody gives a fuck about her. She was always, I'll see you next Tuesday.
That devil?
Yeah, that she devil. Look at me, I'm voting no because I'm a little so yeah, should this be allowed?
No. This whole flip-floppy situation, like, I understand that people evolve and change and grow, but whoa, that was a lot in my face. But yeah, no, if you're somebody who is a professional politician running, you should have policies and ideas and values in mind, and those don't necessarily change from day to night unless you have a hidden agenda. So what the hell? Hellscape. I hate it here.
Look, there's good stuff happening around the world, but
bright side is not it.
It's not some of it.
Bright side is we're living in California, so
yeah. So I think that's the upside is that, listen, what it does is it makes me, and our friend Kurt recently moved to North Carolina. North Carolina, even though it's a very blue state. It's kind of it's a purplish bluish state. So in the South, it was sort of one of the last bastions of freedom for abortion rights after Roe v. Wade got demolished. So
I'm still not over that.
Still not over that. So it's a hellscape. All right, guys. So let's talk about. So here's a good thing happening. So we had Andy Ducklith from Accidental Aliens on, and we are happy to say that her Kickstarter has been 100%, is almost been funded. Yes, Alternate Dimension, the 2023 Accidental Aliens Anthology is at 3,170 of the 3,500 goals. So it is very close to being fully funded. And we're going to be releasing the podcast with Andy in the next couple of days. So we're very happy that this is very close to getting funded. If you got a couple of bucks, go ahead and shoot those her way and help out indie artist. So there's good stuff. That's
awesome.
Happening.
That is awesome. Holy shit. Weren't they like a third of the way when we interviewed? Or was
they were like at 50, now they're up to 72. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff happening. Hell yeah. Good stuff. So listen, man, there's a lot of shit happening that's horrible in the world. But there's also, we got to keep trucking along, man. got to keep trucking along.
Mhm.
Also, one of the artists that we met at San Diego Latino Film Festival, Mas Paz Leather, is doing a raffle. So you could win one of these two. What are they called? They're like coffin sort of holders,
I was
but they're
like gun
super.
holsters. I'm just kidding.
No, they're what are they called? They're it's a raffle to win one of these things.
Yeah.
It's a coffin purse. There you
Ah,
go.
it's a purse. Yo, I want that.
Look at that thing. So there's still
All right.
plenty of spots left.
I'm
I'll
entering.
put the link in here for $10. This is definitely a good value. So if anybody wants to follow at Mas Paz Leather on Instagram, you can find them there. I'll also put the link below so you can check it out and possibly win one of these cool coffin purses.
Hell
That
yeah.
sounds-
Super talented, man.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll definitely have them on the show at some point. All right. So this is a new concert that's coming up. But it's wanted to see if I want to get Kurt's thought of it because it's Friday night. This is kind of like an old Cella type situation because it's Guns N' Roses and Iron Maiden on Friday night, AC/DC and Ozzy Osbourne Saturday night, and Metallica and Tool on Sunday night. So Empire Polo Club in Indio, California in October. So if we make a lot of money between now and then, I'd like to go. But it does seem like what time is the opening act going to go on? Like at 6 o'clock? Because damn, these are
that's a lot.
That's a lot of bands, but these are old bands. These are old bands. This is getting a little sad. Not gonna lie, Guns N' Roses, I saw Iron Maiden in Chula Vista a few months back, so I don't know. I don't have that. I've seen Metallica before. I've never seen Tool or AC/DC, but still, it seems like a little old Cella-ish.
Well, there's a lot of nostalgia going on with concerts.
Sophia, you're getting a little wonky. Let's give her a second.
Oh, hello.
Let's give her a second to connect. All right, and are you there?
I don't know. Am I?
Your voice is there, but your image is lagging a little bit. Let's get into some tacos. All right, Compton's. So this is something that let's get to a positive story here. This is a taqueria in Compton. It's a viral tagged up taqueria that makes some of LA's best food. And I kind of want to go to this place. Just it looks good just from the outside. It's called Urapan Taco, and look at that. Looks good. It looks like they're doing some good stuff there.
Ooh.
So if you're in LA, go. This looks like a little hole in the wall, like awesome place to go get food.
Yeah, it's literally a little house. That's cool.
Little house. A lot of but you know what? If you're not in LA and you want to get tacos, you know where you should go.
Casa del Taco, Sweetwater Road, National City.
There you go. If you're in San Diego, that's where you should go.
Yep.
On National Burrito Day, just go tomorrow. They'll still have them.
We sell burritos.
they'll still have the burritos there. I might go tomorrow. I might have to stop by.
Do it.
All right. And why aren't you out here doing more stuff for the show, Sophia? The Catch Me Outside girl, bad. I don't even know how to pronounce that name.
Baby.
Bad Baby.
Yeah.
She turned 20 and she celebrated in her $6 million mansion. This is the girl that went viral for being the Catch Me Outside girl. And then she dropped some videos, got a bunch of surgery done, and she made about $50 million on OnlyFans. So,
good for her.
Good for her, man. Like, honestly, like if you can make that 50 mil, if you can make that bag on OnlyFans,
do it. Absolutely.
You need a camera person. Let me know.
Good for her.
I will make your booty look good.
With all that surgery, I think it already does.
Yeah, I mean, with all the surgery. All right. This is another thing. So in Tennessee, as we continue Hellscape Watch here. So Tennessee,
we're still on Hellscape Watch?
We're still in Hellscape Watch.
Not really. We have some palate cleansers in there.
Yeah, I threw some palate in there, but there's still Hellscape-ish. So Tennessee Assembly State Capitol. post mass shooting in their district. Some gun control people were sitting with some Democratic, representatives, and they brought them into the house to protest, to sort of give their opinion. And basically, the way that the Tennessee legislature reacted to that is by expelling Democratic Congress people. Now, one of the things that Justin Jones said, and I'll let him talk a little bit.
We broke the glass of this chamber that someone called sacred. One of the members on the other side of the aisle was in tears and said, I've never seen such a breach of the sacred chamber. And I thought to myself, that representative has obviously never read history. Because in this chamber, if you walk around this Capitol, you'll see bullet holes when representatives got into conflicts. You'll see duels.
So representatives in the Tennessee House have peed on each other's chair. There was a guy that was a convicted pedophile, or people that were under federal investigation that didn't get expelled, but they expelled multiple members because they dared to stand with people of their district who were pro-gun control, that were mad that they weren't doing anything, and that the right to massacre children by having massive amounts of guns supersedes any common sense gun control.
Are you serious?
Yeah. So in Tennessee, the legislature voted 75-25 to expel him and other members. So basically, they came in, stood with some people that were protesting guns, and they were told, "Oh, you know what? We're gonna just expel you from the state."
That's wild. Tennessee, I don't know what you're doing. Fuck Kansas, fuck Idaho, and fuck Tennessee.
All right. So, if you had to live in one of those states,
nice. Fuck Mary Kill. Fuck Mary Kill.
Fuck Mary Kill. Idaho, Kansas, and Tennessee.
Oh my God, they're all so horrible. None. I don't know. Are we actually playing this? Okay, I would fuck Idaho because it's in the name. Come on. Idaho. No, Idaho. Marry Kansas. Marry Tennessee because Southern food.
Okay.
Yeah. Kill Kansas.
I think I would marry Tennessee too, because I think the chicks there probably be a little bit hotter than Kansas
right?
or Idaho.
Yeah.
I think I've seen some like Tennessee vols and some Tennessee girls that are pretty cute.
Yeah. My thing is, my cousin used to play soccer for the Kansas City, whatever the hell soccer team. So I was like, he did say it sucked there though, so never mind. I have no knowledge of Kansas.
I have no
or
Kansas,
Tennessee or Idaho.
You're the only 10 I see.
You're the only 10 I see.
There you go. I think because of the memes. All right. All right. Let me skip through a couple of these here. This one was.
Do we have? We'll probably stick to like just a couple anonymous, huh?
Yeah, we have a few anonymous way. Let me just clear some of these tabs here as we go. Thanks for everybody that's sticking with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
This is a funny one. This is a palate cleanser. So, meet the Spanish chef who's elevating Filipino cuisine.
What?
Yeah, no. The headline tells it all. Meet the Spanish chef who is elevating Filipino. That
title.
This is our what the caucasity. So basically, it's. I'm sure you've been waiting for a Spanish man to elevate the cuisine. Blessed Filipino cuisine has finally arrived. Representation.
Jesus.
The audacity, la caucasidad. So
the caucasity.
So basically, what's he gonna do? Is he gonna like deconstruct lumpia? Like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna do like pancit sandwiches. I don't know what the hell's gonna happen, but it's so fucking it's awesome. Here in San Diego, we have a huge Filipino community. So
we do.
It's awesome. I love it. I love the food. I love the people.
You know what Filipino food is missing?
What?
A Spanish chef.
A Spanish chef. A white Spanish chef.
A white Spanish chef.
They're elevated to show you how to do it.
Yeah.
That's giving like that one white girl that moved to Barrio Logan and she was gonna like reconstruct Mexican food but make it all healthy and stuff. And
Oh
everybody
my
was like,
God.
fuck this bitch.
It's giving me Kendall Jenner tequila.
Yeah. All right. In the TikTok hellscape. TikTok blogger faces backlash for selfie near Canadian dad slain at Starbucks. So this kid is on TikTok. There's a guy arguing with somebody outside of Starbucks. He's on his phone and the one guy literally starts stabbing the other guy, killed him in front of his children, actually. And this guy rushed over with a video and literally took a selfie next to the dead body.
Whoa.
And was like, and then he posted a video about it saying that the reason that he was nervous because the other guy was still there, and he explained his smile by saying that he smiles sometimes when he is uncomfortable.
Yeah, we've been here before with Logan Paul and the dead body in the forest. We've done this.
Yeah.
Kids are stupid.
Kids are stupid. All right.
Yeah.
If you indict Trump, where does it end? They will indict every ex-president. Yes, absolutely. Please invite.
That would be great.
Yeah, go ahead. Go. We're all for it. Invite everybody. Biden's breaking laws. Put him in jail. Do it. All of them.
Hillary Clinton, please do.
All right. So on Twitter. Oh wait, did he change it back?
What?
Oh, he had changed the logo to the Doge meme. Forever.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he changed it back, but now it's white.
He probably already profited.
But he changed it to white. And you know what the theory behind that is, that he was under FCC investigation because of pump and dump, because he was pumping Doge a while back, and so I think that it was trending. So he changed it to Doge while it was trending to sort of disguise where it was coming from. Look, I'm not leaving Twitter because I met Rosa and a bunch of people through Twitter, and I love the connections and the communities that I built there. But it is turning into a little bit of a hellscape. They labeled NPR as state affiliated media. They're trying to charge legacy. They changed the wording on blue check marks versus legacy. So now,
now you don't even know.
I don't even know if it's because it's legacy or if it's because somebody paying $7 a month. So he changed the platform to Doge, and now you can. And now the New York Times says they won't pay for Twitter verifications or reimburse reporters. LeBron James came out and said he wasn't going to pay for it because he was just cheap, and he's like, I ain't paying. Fuck that shit. I think the ultimate will be a backlash of people and Twitter needs these verified accounts to pump out content because that's what people react to, that's what people respond to, that's what drives conversation. So what people aren't talking about is, they talk about TikTok and the Chinese government, and they talk about all these other apps and who's owning them. But when Elon bought Twitter, he had a lot of Saudi Arabian and a lot of Arab money that was pumping in. So if the conspiracy theory that he's just basically set upon to destroy this is true, then this is kind of one more sign that he is sort of turning it into a shit show.
I mean, why would he do it on purpose though? He paid so much money. I mean, billions lost. I don't know. But did you know that you could get Meta verified as well? So on Instagram, you can pay for a blue check mark now.
I got the offer as well.
What the hell is that? The whole point of a blue check mark is that
you got somewhere.
Yeah, that you got somewhere. Yeah, that's kind of how you know you made it, or you have you have so many fake accounts and other people that you need to be verified. So if you could just pay for it, then that makes it.
It's payment verified. It's not even it. And the way they phrase it, because I got the offer about a week and a half ago, and I was like, they're like, hey, Big Chief Burrito, we'd like to invite you to the blue check mark Meta verified. And I was like, oh yes, good job. And then it says like, all you have to do is have a state ID or something. And I was like, oh yeah, absolutely, let's do it. And they're like
$14.99,
$15 a month. And I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No check mark is the new check mark.
Exactly. I'm like, it makes it counterintuitive. It just makes it like not, Yeah.
Look, and if
It's
you
not a
got
thing.
$14.99 and you want to be Big Chief Burrito, I mean, with a 0 instead of an O at the end, like knock your socks off, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, one more hellscape watch as we knock these out, and this is Florida.
Mhm.
Who would have thunk it? Basically, Florida is introducing a late amendment to implement a criminal ban on pride events throughout the state of Florida if anyone present is dressed in drag. So they want to demonize drag so much. Now they've also made it so that you don't even need a gun permit to open carry in Florida. Florida is
Oh
becoming.
my God.
But
Florida.
now any event that has somebody in drag can be shut down or can be sued. So this means you can't go see the Rocky Horror Picture Show. This is basically outlawing. This is basically outlawing Halloween. You can't dress up as a woman for Halloween. That's technically drag. You can't do anything that. What if I just want to wear a dress? What the hell's wrong with that?
Mm-hmm.
Like you can't do it. I want to show off my legs.
Is it officially illegal?
They're trying to add a late amendment to a law to make it a criminal event. So. This would ban live performances of musicals or hair. Basically, yeah. You want to talk about Batman being a fascist. DeSantis is a fascist.
Yeah, he is, dude. Back to back, he's just doing so many freaking bills.
The South is trying to outdo each other.
They really are. I think Florida's winning because with the book ban, with all the it's insane, and a lot of this is down to perspective. Like, how are you gonna ban pride shows and drag shows and stuff like that? Just like, yeah, there was one line, I forgot what the bill was, but it was something about inappropriate for children, and it was like, who? That's subjective. Who deems what's inappropriate? Like anyone could go to jail. It's really crazy. Anyway, hellscape has me tired. Are we done yet? I'm tired.
All right, let me save some of these for next week.
We should make it like a max of 3. This is a lot of negativity here.
There's so much fucking hellscape going on.
But
right?
we can't do this. No.
All right. Trump is already selling t-shirts with his alleged mugshot on it.
Oh yeah, I saw this. Yeah.
The funniest part is if you zoom in on the picture on the back, it makes it look like he's 6'5".
Oh man.
And he didn't even get a picture taken. I mean, Trump got perp walked in New York, and he got arraigned. He didn't look happy at all. But
yeah,
there's a lot of content out.
I think Andrew Tate is doing the same thing now that he got out. He's doing he's selling t-shirts as well. What is up with all these merch sells? Like it's the first thing they go to.
Look, we're a little backed up on the hellscape stuff, so I'm gonna save the Andrew Tate stuff till next week.
Yeah, let's do that next week.
There's too much stuff happening, and we had an already serious topic to talk about today. I'm gonna reach out actually to this chick, because she doesn't have a ton of followers. Anna Perez, and see if she'll come on the Gente show and maybe debate. Because she's got a lot of horrible opinions, and I would love to. I mean, you're the one that said we should start. We should start at some point debating people. So there's a lot of stuff here that she says.
I'm down, but do we want to give her a platform? Do I want to ruin my evening? We'll think about it. We'll sleep on that one.
Wait, one of the things there was like, oh yeah, she said transgenders are literally Hitler. That's a hot take. What is going on with people? Why are people so angry?
That's not the correct usage of literally, but okay.
Yeah, no, they're literally not.
No, because my thing is, I want to debate somebody that's a good faith actor, and this person is not it. She knows what she's doing, and she's profiting off of it. So I'm like, do I really want to give her a voice? Not really. I would debate somebody like, I don't know, somebody who's an actual Republican and like actually believes and has a viewpoint, not just a reactionary.
I guess it would be fine to just dunk on her, maybe, or just to kind of see what kind of bullshit.
Yeah, and she can reply. Listen, we can dunk on her all day, and then she can TikTok reply, and we can TikTok reply, and we can have a parasocial relationship. And then maybe one day we'll hype it up and we'll debate. But my thing is, she needs the clout, and I don't know that I want to give her a platform, so I don't know. Because she's a dumb, ignorant person.
Yeah, but she's your Latina sisterhood. Yeah. Hermanas. No, none of that.
No, not with her. Hell no. Hell no. You're gonna say, what did she say? Trans people are literally Hitler?
Yeah, that she's horrible. She's a horrible,
No,
horrible
she's
human.
terrible. She's terrible.
She's horrible.
Trash.
All right.
Trash person.
All right. If you're in San Diego and you are in need of a little bit of help with groceries, with some food at all, no matter what your status in, go and follow Magnolia Project on Instagram. Make an appointment Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday, and they will help you with some groceries. I put the link in the description as well. Our sister Laura is the one that's working for this organization, the Magnolia Project in San Diego. Find out more about them if you are in need. All right, one more story that I wanted to cover, and then we can get on to Nonama's Way, and then we'll get out of here. Angel Reese, LSU versus Iowa in the women's Final Four championship game. So, are you familiar with this sort of controversy, Sophia?
I don't think so. No.
Okay. So, give me a second here. So basically, what happened is during the NCAA tournament,
Mm-hmm.
give me a second here.
Mm-hmm.
There's a woman called Caitlin Clark. She is white, right? And
Yeah.
she is a basketball player.
Okay.
Are you with me so far?
Yes. Yes, I am. A white basketball player, NCAA. Yes.
So during the tournament, she was doing her thing, and this is Caitlin Clark.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she made the John Cena face during the middle of a game when she was trash talking her opponent, right? And she was doing that. Now in the final, Iowa versus LSU, Angel Reese, at the end of the game, when they were basically up by 15 and the game was over, sort of followed her around the court and was mocking her and basically being super petty, pointing to the ring finger, etc., etc. Twitter sort of exploded about this, and there was a couple of big time commentators like David Portnoy from Ballsack Sports or Barstool Sports, whatever it's called. Keith Overman called her classless. David Portnoy called her a classless piece of shit for basically doing that. And then the Twitter sort of blew up because they pointed out rightly that Caitlin Clark talked as much trash as anybody during the only difference. The only singular point that they have is that when Caitlin Clark did her thing, it was more in the middle of the game, in the flow of the game, when they still maybe had a chance that could go either way. But either way, she was trash talking, she was doing the thing. And Angel Reese did it when the game was sort of basically finished, right? So it is a little bit more petty. I don't think you can call somebody doing that a classless piece of shit. I think that's fucking horrible. And I think the fact that it's a black female athlete makes it incredibly horrible to say something like that. Yeah. Giving the, even the Iowa versus LSU thing, demographically black and white aspects of it. So yeah, did this topic sort of hit your airwaves?
No, I think I briefly heard about it at like another, but no. I'm not even convinced what the order was. Who did it first, the white girl or the black girl?
The white girl did it first earlier in the tournament.
Okay.
Earlier in the tournament.
And then the black girl's the one that got the backlash.
And the black girl did it in the final game against the white girl in the final after they were basically winning the championship. LSU and Angel Reese.
Backlash of like,
and she gets backlash. She gets called classless and stuff like that.
What's your take? You are a lot more educated on this topic. What's your take?
This was the first year that I was very interested in the women's tournament because there was chicks punching each other out in like the handshake line. There was a ton of trash talking. There was a ton of really intense battles going on during this tournament. So I loved it. I think all the trash talking and all that makes it great. Like I said, my only issue with what she did is that it was at the end of the game. The game was over. So it didn't come off as like a competitive trash talking. It came off as like a petty. Like a petty trash talking, like I'm the villain sort of situation. But I'm all for it. I think we need villains in sports, and we give, and men who do that never get as much shit as she did for it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. In the men NCAA, I mean, no one was trash talking directly, but there was a lot of freaking like like, and I was like, that dude is such a douche. Like in my head, right? But I'm like, he's not in the news.
Right. So basically, like if somebody from Connecticut, when the game was out of hand with like 2 minutes left, was going up to SDSU players and was like, ooh, like you'd be like, all right, you get it, you won, thank you.
Yeah.
But it's not like, oh, you classless piece of shit.
No, nobody would. Exactly.
You're the worst. It's the worst thing that's ever happened in sports. Oh my god.
Yeah. Nobody would blink an eye. They'd be like, all right, settle down. That's
a little petty, but so what? So she was a little petty. All right, shit gets deeper. So Jill Biden is at the game, and she basically, you know what happens when you win the NCAA tournament or you win the Super Bowl? You go to the White House and you have dinner and they take your picture and stuff like that. That's what winners get to do. So Jill Biden, after the women's NCAA final, says, oh, we'd love to have LSU at the White House, but Iowa played such a great game. I'm going to talk to Joe about having Iowa come to the White House as well.
What?
That's literally
why is this being blown so out of proportion, and why? So basically, like SDSU, right? So obviously UConn is going to go to the White House because they won, right? So do you think SDSU would accept an invite knowing that they lost because they played a good game? I mean, accept, sure, but like, should they? No. What the hell?
Right. So that's
it's still Biden's fault, though. Like, why is she even extending an invitation? Out of what? Pity? And for what? Like, this is so blown out of proportion. I'm just kind of like baffled that it's even a thing. Why?
Because
it seems racist and sexist. It seems like it's race and it's racist and sexist.
Yeah, it's like this poor little white girl. She played so good. She's such a good player.
If they were dudes, this would not be.
She got beat and made fun of by the mean black girl. Let's all Joe. Can we invite her to the White House too? Caitlin Clark actually came out and said, "We're not going to the White House. That should only be for winners."
Thank you, Caitlin Clark.
And she said herself she didn't have an issue with what Angel Reese did. So
thank you. Oh my God.
Now, the funny thing about this is that Jill Biden tried to go before the game into the LSU locker room to give them like a pep talk. And as a team, they were like, nah, we're good.
Ha ha. This just makes Jill Biden look bad.
Yeah, it's a bad look for Jill Biden.
It's a bad look.
Look, listen, Jill Biden, anytime that you're looking worse than Kamala Harris, you're fucking up.
You're doing something wrong. Yeah.
You're doing something wrong. You don't invite the losing team to the White House because they played a great game. That's just what's the word I'm looking for? Like what is that thing? Like belittling or like
I guess belittling the win of the winning team. I don't know.
Yeah. So big controversy, black and white issue, racism alive and well in America. More healthscape.
I thought we cured racism with the Pepsi commercial.
We did. And also, Caitlin said, Angel Reese says they're not going. They're not going. They said they'd rather go visit the Obamas. So,
yes.
So they might not even. They might not even go to the. They might not even go to the White House.
You know.
Because of the way they were treated.
Can't nobody blame her. It's fine. Jill Biden.
Jill Biden. Fucking up.
Yeah.
You're fucking up, Jill Biden.
Yeah.
Dr. Jill Biden.
She done fucked up. Well.
All right, hold on. Let me clean this up here for a second.
What are you doing in that little screen? Oh, I see. Okay, cool.
Closing stuff.
Yeah, closing stuff like a mofo.
All right. Let's do this. Let's get out of here.
Now it's time for
No Names Way.
No Names Way. No Names.
All right. How many do we have?
Everybody's favorite. Not always right. I'm sorry. What?
2 hours, 30 minutes. We got this. Wait, how many do we have though? Because I was gonna say we don't have to do all of them. We could just do like 2 or 3, depending on how long we riff.
Let's see what we got.
See what we got.
All right, let's see what we got. All right, we have 5 responses here. We should be able to handle it.
It depends. If one of them goes a little long, then I say we cut it off and leave some for next week.
We shall see. All right, first question comes from Jump the Gun. Says, "Sorry guys, I thought you were a podcasting couple. Seems like there's a bunch of these days." Oh, I think this is a person from last year.
Thank you for following up, bud.
Sorry guys, I thought you were a podcasting couple. Seems like there are a bunch of those these days as well. Side question: what is the youngest age each of you would date? Ugh.
Love that. Wait, what's the name?
Jump the Gun.
Jump the Gun. Thanks for following up. Kindly. Thank you for watching. Thank you for following up. Yeah, we were confused. We were like, what is he saying? Yeah. Are they saying? I don't know. No, I totally agree. Actually, okay, so I do listen to a lot of podcasts, right? It's kind of an issue. 2 of which are couples podcasts, and they're
Really?
they're becoming a thing. Yeah. And it's just like and now I have a parasocial relationship with all these couples because I'm so invested. It's a thing. Yeah, no, I love it though. But yeah, no. Youngest
Date, like officially date.
That I have dated. It has to be you have dated, right?
What is
What
is the youngest age each of you would date? Would date.
Okay. Oh, okay. Because I was like, have dated. I've never gone below 2 and above 2 years. But I think my personal preference is if it's like 4 years up, 4 years down. If I could have gone to high school with you, we're within the same awareness, like social awareness space, I guess, when it comes to like, shows and all of that. So I tend to have more in common with them. But as I grow older, I'm becoming more open-minded into dating older people. And I think my hard age is when it comes to lower. I don't think I would go below 25. I just don't think I would.
Frontal lobe situation?
No, I mean, listen, if I'm respectfully, if I'm out at a club and I see a 23, 24-year-old, and that's fine. But when it comes to dating, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, it's a difference in, I don't know. But then again, I don't want to discriminate. I'm like, if there's like a 22-year-old that has gone through shit and they're really seasoned, but even then it just feels weird. Like that's such a huge difference. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't go below 25. And as of now, I wouldn't go above 35.
Well, date would mean like
25, 35.
Introducing them in as like your, this is.
It's a difference who I would make out with,
right,
and have fun with versus date. Date is like 25, 35. There you go. We figured it out, folks. 25, 35, and as I grow older, that goes up a year.
I think date. I think what is the math is what half your age plus 7 is, right? It's supposed to be. So for me, that would be 30, I think. But I'm gonna go with Sophia's number. I'm gonna go 25 to 35. 25.
Honestly, though, like I feel like that's a solid age range. Even if the age doesn't have to even shift with my age. I feel like I would always and forever stick with 25.
25 to 35.
But you know what? 45-year-olds are starting to look appealing now. So it's like, I don't know. You guys, it's whoever I meet. I don't know the person that I'm going to meet, and I don't know how I'm going to vibe with them. I think if it's the right person, all of these rules that I'm putting for myself, they can go away. Because I also prefer dating Latinos. But if I meet a white person that I like, even though, I don't like, conquistadores. But I'm just saying that I would be open to all that. I have dated white people. I have dated black people. I have dated brown, purple, yellow, everything. So I'm open to anything. It just depends on the person.
All right. Yeah, no, I think 25 is probably the hard bottom for me in terms of dating somebody.
What was it? 20 what?
25. But I don't discriminate. Like, hey.
If love is love. If it happens, it happens.
Hey, 22-year-old and her father was chubby and she's got a little daddy fetish thing.
No,
I'm not turning down. No, absolutely. There's a difference between fun and consensual sex and dating. Because once you're dating, then that power dynamic comes into place, and then you can be accused. So you can fuck an 18-year-old, just don't marry one, or else you're gonna get torn up. You're gonna get messed up.
We could rephrase that, but yeah.
Yeah.
I understand the sentiment.
You can fuck 18 to 25-year-olds. You just can't have a relationship with them because then it's problematic, right? Because you
consensually and respectfully, people.
Yes, you can consensually and respectfully fuck them, and if they want to be fucked by you, you can do that. That's because you're you're taking away their power, right? They have their agency, right? You can't take away their agency, right? Yes. But in terms of dating, and also I am 45, but I dress and act and move very much like a 30-year-old. So
I got a 30s vibes.
Yeah, I don't really vibe with 45-year-old ladies. I don't. Like, I can be corporate Lou or like adult Lou, but I'm just more me. I think it's just a number for me and stuff like that. So obviously that has something to do with, I don't know, being stunt. I don't wear suits. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have a 45-year-old vibe.
But you know what? It also doesn't have to do so much with the age as much as it is just the lifestyle that you live. Because also I've dated female mothers who, have children at young 20s.
Right.
And they are very different. And so anyway, you don't have children. You are a single man who has a youthful vibe to him, so it's like you're gonna vibe with people that have that same.
I mean, well, I have a
lifestyle.
Yeah, but I know
you do have a stepson, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. All right, so thank you for not jumping the gun.
Thanks, jump the gun.
All right, next one comes to us. These are pretty quick. The next one comes to us from a good worker. All right, hi, a good worker. How do you deal with a coworker who always has you cover for them by clocking in and out, etc., and making excuses where they are really just goofing off, taking extra long breaks, and have figured out how to game the system to work the minimum amount necessary and be around only when the bosses check in? Oh. They literally know when they have time to nap because the company is so predictable, and even though we are not union, has no fear of losing their job. I could very easily fuck their world up, though. Should I? Or should I join the dark side and then no one gets work done, because then it would be super obvious that our department is lagging?
Ooh, that's rough, because it sounds like you're picking up the slack.
Yeah, if you're picking up the slack, then.
If you're picking up the slack, then I say all's fair in love and war. But if you're not picking up the slack, then don't be a hater and snitches get stitches. All right, just join the dark side and nap as well.
I mean, it seems like you're upset that your friend is seizing the means of production.
Yeah.
Listen, if the company is so ass backwards that you only need to do a certain amount, listen, any desk job or work job is figuring out what the minimum amount of work that you can do and just browsing the internet and checking your phone the rest of the time, right? That's what corporate work is. That's what office work is. Mm-hmm. There's very few people, unless they're frontline workers or customer service or people that are continuously forward facing, that have to work 8 hours a day. Most people work 2 to 3 hours, and the rest of the time is just spending time. So if your friend has figured out exactly how much it takes to be able to fly under the radar, then you can do that. If it's an individual, listen. If not, then make it a point to point out to your supervisor that you're excelling and just try to get to a management position and get the fuck out of the trenches. You know, because obviously if the other people are lagging and it's sort of some sort of production based job, but if it's like hey, this team of people has to get this done, and they're like, and then you're like, but I'm over here
actually working my ass off. Yeah, that's where it kind of sucks.
I can understand you being pissed, but either make it a point to have them recognize your individual efforts so that you can get moved up. Don't hate the player, hate the game, mm-hmm. or unionize.
Yeah. I don't know that we helped a lot. It's just, yeah.
I mean, don't snitch. Just listen. You don't have to snitch, but you don't have to go out of your way to cover up for them. To just be like, hey, listen, man, I heard they're putting cameras up or they're checking time punches. I don't think that I should clock you in and out anymore. Or listen, like set some boundaries if it's like that. Just be like, hey, listen, I don't mind you doing your thing, but that's kind of like not my style. So, you know, I'm not going to say nothing, but I don't want to be complicit in it. If that makes sense. And just kind of just set some boundaries for yourself. If it feels like they're taking advantage of you and they're using you to do all the work, then it's different from they just figured out how much the minimum is that they need to do to get by, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I agree. They're two separate things. If you're being taken advantage of, then I think that, you know, you could take some action. I wouldn't want to get the person fired, but maybe, yeah, like Lou said, do a little PowerPoint presentation and go to your boss and be like, this is all the productivity that I'm bringing to this company. Maybe I can get a raise. Maybe I can get moved up, something like that. But if it's not hurting anyone, then listen, in this economy, let him do his thing.
Understand. Maybe he needs a nap.
Yeah. You take a nap too.
Good luck, a good worker. All right. Vain Girl says, hi, Vain Girl.
Hi, Vain Girl.
What's up with the false eyelash trend? Some look as thick as dense bat wings. They're being worn 24/7, not just special occasions. I overheard women at the gym saying their friend got an eye infection from the glue and can't put anything on her eyes for 4 months. Not even mascara, so she can heal. Ay, pobrecita. Do men find these fake appendages attractive?
Ooh, Lou, do tell, do you?
Fake eyelashes, like the fake. Listen, as somebody blessed with beautiful eyelashes, I can't relate. But I don't know, man. Listen, I always said that I hated makeup, and my mom always used to make fun of me and say, "Ay, me vas a traer una toda pintada a la casa." Like, he's like, you say you hate makeup, but then most of the girls that I've dated have really not used a lot of makeup. I really don't like.
You really do stick to that, actually. Yeah, in practice.
Like I don't really fuck with like super ultra caked on. It doesn't do it for me. So for me, no, I don't enjoy anything. I don't like the surprise in the morning. Yes. You know, and I don't like it takes you an hour and a half to apply the face for us to go anywhere situation.
No, but that would be the reasoning for women doing that, is now women are getting either their eyelashes permed, like you know, it lasts like 3 months or whatever, but that's like your natural eyelashes, or you can get fake falsies. And
but that's always been a thing that is just becoming more popular now.
So some girls apply it every day. And other women actually get like the ones that last a while, but they look so dark, and but they look so
heavy on their eyes.
Heavy, yeah. So I know you didn't ask my perspective, but hi, I'm a bisexual woman who also likes women, females mainly, and I don't like that. I don't like how it looks. I think that the perm looks good, but I don't like when it looks super dark, like just like night. I think that night makeup is for the night. And then if you wear it during the day, I don't like how it looks necessarily.
Yeah. So from you have two different perspectives there. Me, I'm a naturalist, but there's probably you guys that are like, yeah, fucking put all that shit on there. Just, you know,
you know, taste their own.
I want to see no filter.
I don't mind some makeup, but for some reason, the really dark fake eyelashes, I don't vibe with them. I don't care for them.
What is your least favorite makeup accessory that a girl can sort of add? What is your least favorite?
Currently, I don't know about accessory, but currently there's something that's in style is what's that called? Your eyebrows. It's called what's it called?
Smoky eye?
No, eyebrow lamination. Laminating your eyebrows. I had this conversation with a coworker because she loved the laminated look, and I don't like it at all. Like it's literally when women who have like maybe less thick eyebrows. I have very thick eyebrows. But like they literally literally like laminate it, and like it goes up, and it just kind of looks like you put hairspray on it, and it just looks like it's stuck there, and I just don't like it. I'm ready for that trend to pass.
Would you rather have that, or would you rather have the tattooed eyebrows?
Tattooed eyebrows, 100%. Because sometimes you can't even notice. Sometimes they're so good you don't even notice them.
Really?
Yeah. If you
When they
get them done right, you know, sometimes you don't even
they put them too
notice.
high and they always look surprised.
Well, now you're talking about Sharpie eyebrows. I mean, let's not do
Yeah.
that. Let's not go back to the Chola days.
Look, I do have a
What
Chola
about you?
fetish, so I'm just
You
saying.
do?
Yeah, I do.
Oh.
I don't
I mean,
mind
same,
that.
but like,
I don't mind like a good pinup or like a good chola like fucking look. Absolutely. That'll get me. That makeup look will get me.
Okay.
Okay.
We're learning so much about
Tell
you.
your friends. So good luck. So there, you know, do what you want. But yeah, it seems kind of I guess
think it was a no for us.
Yeah, my least favorite, if I had to say my least favorite accessory, probably be like super long nails or I don't know. Wigs.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care about wigs. You can do wigs. If you can do wigs right, do them. I don't care.
Yeah.
Some people like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Cada
Thank
quien.
you. Thank you for stopping by, Vein Girl. Appreciate
Thank
the
you, Vein
question.
Girl.
All right. We got two more here, short ones. Pasta. That's an interesting name. Pasta. You love someone and you love working with them, but they don't know how to hire others and keep bringing toxic people to the team. What do you do? Ugh. They don't know how to hire others and keep bringing toxic people to the team.
Oh man, I have so many follow-ups. Is there anything you can do, first of all, other than talk to that person and be like, hey, maybe don't do the hiring? Maybe be a better judge of character? Is there anything you realistically can do?
Listen, I have a corporate answer and then I have a friend answer. From a corporate standpoint, sometimes there's people that are in positions to hire people that it's like the Peter principle. They got promoted from their job because they were good at the previous job. So if you have a good factory worker and they're really good at being a factory worker or something, or they're really good at making calls and stuff like that, and all of a sudden you put them in charge in a management position. And sometimes those people aren't really good managers. They just happen to be good at the task, but they're not necessarily good at managing other people or hiring and firing other people. I've seen that a million times. So being a leader and being good at managing people and being in a position of power are sometimes not the same thing, and they don't necessarily have to always coincide. So they could just be bad at that part of their job.
Yeah.
You know, you could care about them. They could be an awesome person. They could be your friend, but they just could be bad at that part of their function. So in my opinion, the best thing to do is basically ask them about the process. Like you were wanting to learn. Don't come at it as like, hey, how come you hire horrible people? But just be like, you know, can I ask you a little bit about the process and how you decide to bring people onto the team? And then maybe in having them break down those steps for you, you might be able to see where something is wrong, and then you can offer some constructive criticism. If you love them and you have a good relationship and you approach that in the right way, that's the only way you can have that conversation without coming off as accusatory. So can you talk to me about your process and how you decide to hire people? Do you do research? Do you do background checks? What is just a vibe? Can you talk to me a little about that? Oh, blah, 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 blah. All right. Well, you know what? Because I just noticed the last couple of times, we have this relationship that these people that you brought on really, even though they might seem qualified, they were actually a little toxic for the workplace or these incidents. So I just kind of wanted to see if you would be open to me finding out about it so that I can sort of give you my opinion.
Yeah, that works. I like that.
And because any other approach is going to make it seem like you're nitpicking or you're being a hater.
Yeah, you definitely have to present it with evidence. Definitely. So, oh man, that's hard. Good luck.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, you're gonna be like, hey man, I don't like the way you're doing stuff, or hey lady, hey friend. Either we need to have a talk about this, or I'm going to go build my own team somewhere else or something. I don't know if that's even a possibility, but at some point you got to put your foot down. If
if there's absolutely nothing you can do, or you already tried everything and you got to go, then you got to go.
All right. And lastly, we have another follow-up, so we'll knock this one out here.
Okay.
All right.
Was the details from the last week's question?
Yeah, we do have another details from the last question.
Okay.
Look at us. Look at our people following up. Homie's still
Aw.
moping like they shot his dog. Oh, this is the guy that was friend that we asked for a
Oh,
follow-up.
right. We were like, give us details. Okay.
Oh, but there's actually one other short one that I like to do. Okay. Updating you on, I mean, we're already in for it. Updating
Okay.
you on my boy who is very sad about a breakup and moopy. It was his first real girlfriend. Okay. They met at university second year and were still together till they graduated. Okay. She went back home and dumped him during the summer for her old high school boyfriend and got pregnant like super fast. And he started stalking her Instagram pretty hard for a while until we found out. That was almost a year ago, and he still won't go drink with us. I told him to watch Swingers, but he said it was problematic.
All right. I think our take has fully switched then, right? This is sad. It's been a year? Are you kidding me?
Oh, so from second year. So if they were together from sophomore year until they graduated, that's at least two or 3 years. So they were together, let's say 3 years. You graduate from college. She goes back home, immediately gets back together with her old high school boyfriend and gets pregnant. And gets pregnant after you've been together for 3 years.
She's living a different life. She's in a different space fully, and it's been a year.
She said, "Thank you very much for the college romance, but I'm out."
Get over it. Oh my gosh. I'm
really?
sorry.
You're telling get over it? That's a tough one. That's a tough one to get over.
It's a tough one, but it's also
that's a
like
rough one.
But it's so unhealthy to be this depressed and this mopey for a year when someone when the other person has already moved on. They've moved on.
They pretty clearly moved on.
Like, it's just sad at this point. I'm not saying get over it and your feelings are invalid. I'm just saying seek help. Maybe go to therapy. Maybe actively do things to make you feel better because you're dwelling on something that it has ended and she has moved on. She's living a different life. Like, dude, that's unhealthy. Go to therapy, please.
Look, I will say that this would have helped in the initial question because this really you were kind of making it seem like they were just being mopey for no reason.
Yeah, we were like, give him the benefit of the doubt. Be a good friend.
It's excessive moping. It's excessive moping, but that's a lot of trauma right there. If you were with somebody for 3 years and then they dump you and immediately are with somebody else and pregnant, that is rough. I feel that person's pain. But if it's what is it? 1 month for every year. So if you were there for 3 years, that's 3 months of moping, and you're like 7 months past that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a tough one. Do some therapy, do whatever you need to do to get your mentals correct, but it's time to get back out there. So
it's time to do something about it. Like, you can't be moping anymore. You know what I mean? Like, and it seems unhealthy because he said he won't even go out to drink with them or hang out. And it's like, dude, you're pausing your life. You're in this depressive state.
Stop stalking her IG.
Yeah, stop it. It's not healthy.
Stop trying to figure out if the kid's yours. She don't care. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, he needs to do something about it. I mean, you're being a good friend just by submitting this and trying to see if there's anything you can do, and by proposing the whole Swingers movie, and then it seems like he told him about it, so that's funny. Yeah, he needs. Exactly, and
it's from the 90s.
I think it's just him being like, no, I don't want to do anything. Like, let me just mope.
Yeah.
But you're past your moping phase.
Yeah, you got to get over it, man. You got to active steps. So I would say trick him into going someplace, or get him go to like a taco fest or something with him. Yeah, let's go get some tacos.
Like,
and just throw him in the car.
Here's the thing, though, is like, sadly, what he's doing is he's pushing his very supportive friends away, because at one point it's been a year, right? So at what point are his friends not going to want to be around him, and then he's going to have lost not only his ex-girlfriend but all his friends.
Yep.
And then he's going to be even more depressed. And then that's how suicide happens. So sorry to make it dark, but it's like, dude, seek help. Go to therapy, please.
So thank you very much for the follow-up and for the additional information. We appreciate that. And you're doing the right thing. Keep at it.
You're doing awesome. You're being a good friend.
All right. One more time here. All right. Last one and we're getting it. Last one and we get out of the way. This is a good one. This is a cool one. All right. This one comes to us from Anonymous. No name here. Okay. You can only take 5 pieces of physical media on a desert island for 1 year. They can be full series DVDs or film trilogies or box sets or album anthologies for one artist or filmmaker's library. What do? You must take 1 audio, 1 TV, and 1 film at least.
That's no. It's too many rules, bro. We're 3 hours in. I'm tired.
All right, let's just take the what you can take 5
That's a lot
pieces
of
of
rules.
physical media on a desert island. What are 5 movies?
What they say?
albums?
One audio, one visual, one.
Oh, basically, you can take
Blood of a
one.
virgin.
You can be like, oh, I want to take my Bad Bunny collection, or I want to take, my Selena collection, or something like that. That would be like one audio thing. You could take
5.
one movie series. You could take like the Harry Potter movies.
No, I get it, but
Yeah,
that's just hard. 5.
5 things. All right, I will. Let me see. I'll go first here.
You go
can-
first.
all right, let's see. All right, I would take. Let me see. I would take the Martin Scorsese filmography. If there was
Okay, if we can just no, we can't do one director, a million movies. He said series, trilogies,
okay,
Lord of the Rings, something like that.
Lord of the Rings. I don't know. I
I
don't
wouldn't.
know. I guess maybe. I mean, the Scream franchise. Maybe that would be a good one.
That's what I was
that'd be
thinking too.
probably definitely the Godfather trilogy, because I love watching the Godfather. Maybe Scream for some horror, and maybe like the Monty Python movies for some comedy. And then series wise, maybe I don't know, what's a great long-term series that had like a lot of seasons? Maybe like The Office, or not Friends, obviously.
I was thinking How I Met Your Mother.
That's a lot. Still haven't seen that one.
Oh.
If Doctor Who's got like 30 seasons, right? Or Doctor
Grey's Anatomy, imagine.
Grey's Anatomy. Maybe The Office. That's a pretty good one. And then musically, probably I don't know.
Mozart.
Mozart. Let's listen to Mozart over and over. I don't know.
Over and over.
I would probably say, let's say Gesundheit. I don't know, like a Tribe Called Quest or something. Something island. Yeah. Or maybe like Bob Marley collection or something like that.
Ooh, you're on an island. Why not?
You're on an island, why not?
Yeah.
All right, Sophia.
Oh man, this is still hard. And you know what? Whatever I say, don't hold me to it. I could change by the day. I hate to copy you, but Scream for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Man. I'm between How I Met Your Mother or Community. I love Community. Maybe Community. I'll take Community.
Oh yeah.
Scream.
I fucked up on my show. I'm taking Aqua Teen Hunger Force instead of.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I got like 15 seasons and a lot of shows.
Bad Bunny has ruined my life in the last 3 years. Sure, I'll take Bad Bunny.
Baboni.
Even though he's canceled. Movies, I think you got it really well with The Godfather, but I don't want to copy you. So let me see if there's anything else. I said Scream already. I'll say Harry Potter. I mean, I just love him. I just love Harry Potter.
Sure, that's not bad.
Well, no, actually, fuck.
I know what you're gonna say.
Because I was books. I was like, I didn't even think of books. I'm like, it would be the Harry Potter books.
Harry Potter books. That's not bad. I didn't even think
not
books.
The movies.
I thought you were gonna say Twilight.
I've never read those. I heard they're good. So maybe the Harry Potter books. But when it comes to movies, I don't know. I gotta think about this. This is so hard, you guys. This is so hard.
We'll go deeper into it. If we could take a full filmmaker's filmography, I would take Martin Scorsese's. And if you could pick one writer's, I would take Stephen King's.
That's awesome.
That's like you got books for days there.
Oh,
or
Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan. All the hauntings and Midnight Mass, like everything by Mike Flanagan has been I binge watched. I saw Midnight Mass and A Haunting of Hill House like 3 times, and Bly Manor twice. Like
Michael Crichton. He wrote all the Jurassic Park books, Congo, Andromeda Strain. A lot of good books as well. Ian Fleming, all the James Bond books. That's a good one.
Yes.
That's an interesting question.
There's just so many. This is such a good question. I feel like we should probably talk about this every episode. We would have a different answer.
All right. Let's see. All right.
Great question. Holy shit.
Good question. We'll go deeper into it. I want to thank our guests today, Rodrigo from Beta and Alex and Sandra, their team. Incredible talk. Serious topic.
Please go follow them.
Go follow them and go watch Me Mataron 3 Veces wherever you see it and follow their progress.
Rosa Parra for stopping by. Everybody that stopped by. We did another long show.
Yeah, and there's still people with us, so thank you if you stuck around this whole time. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Hey, you know what? We're gonna give you a look. This is for you. This is for sticking around. Messing around with some new things.
That was cool.
The transitions here. Thanks you.
Claudia.
Hey, Cyro, I love you. Thank you, Cyro.
Cyro, thank you for being here, Cyro. We should have her on. You should be on.
Well,
one day.
we're supposed. She's still her and Lizzie were supposed to come on and do a bit about about fictional characters, zodiac signs.
Oh
that was my idea. She can come on and do a reading with us some point. She can use one of her decks. She can come on anytime. You know, she's got an open door policy. All she has to say is, I want to come on. I'll shoot her the link, and then we'll go from there. All right, Claudia, everybody, we love you. Thank you for stopping by. We're about to hit 3 hours. So
yeah, right on 3 hours. Here. Hasta luego.
Peace out.
Vamos, papá, hay que irnos. Me estoy aguantando desde que pusieron el domo.
Puedes esperar. Muchas personas trabajaron en esta película y solo quieren que te aprendas sus nombres de memoria.
Y yo quiero asegurarme de que ningún animal resultó lesionado durante la filmación de esta película.
¡Listo! ¡Uy, palomitas en el suelo! Oh.
Espera, parece que Maggie tiene algo que decir. Dile su primera palabra. Espera.
¡4 años de escuela de cinematografía para esto!